to stop crafting and actually get on my job. And we are live! Hi, everybody! I'm gonna pre-warn you, it's gonna be a comfy day. You can see I have my Moogle hat. I'm a little bit unshaved. I'm wearing a sweatshirt instead of my usual more gussied up attire. And also, I've got Moogle boots. I guess they're what? There you go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. How are you guys all doing? Also, let me know how audio is. Let me know if I need to tune up the game volume or anything. Fee, good to glad to have you. Laffy, good to glad to have you. Ohokaleli, Ohokaili. Reminder for the MSQ stream. No spoilers for anything beyond this, please. Please, and thank you. Yes, please. Ohokaili, everybody. Ray, good to glad to have you. Raven, good to glad to have you. Light, good to glad to have you. Sarah, good to glad to have you. Black Flame, good to glad to have you. Codex, good to see glad to have you. Dez, good to see glad to have you. Ned Flanders time. Sound gonna be a little louder. My sound or game sound? I'm assuming game sound. I was just recently. I do need to. Give me a second. Let me know if the game sounds good. What you playing, Raven? Good, busy with huge update. Oh, right, your wolf game. Okay, but let us get us going, because turns out, as I have found out thanks to Ray and also my own playings, but Ray's archive project, yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes and a lot to do in Dawntrail. So in order to keep things on pace, we're gonna get ourselves going. Although, as per usual, I'm super curious to hear any of you guys have thoughts about Dawntrail in specific, and I hope you guys are all enjoying patch 7.1. I know I am. Let us start out with our Viper quest for the start. Does the Viper quest go to 100 or does it go to just 90? I assume it goes to 100, right? Because it's usually the 20 levels. Sound. Actually, you know what? Let me mix this up. Let me bump that up and let me bump this down. Okay. It only goes to 90? Okay, so it's only for 10. Over by the Thaumaturge's Guild. Hooray! Good to see, glad to have you. Oh, friendly reminder, because we've got it later tonight. It'll be after stream. If you want to join us for our Evil East reruns, our Vanadil reruns, we'll be doing Echoes of Vanadil the first walk. You can join us over on the Discord. Good to see you, Elio. After a lot of asking around, I dug up some new leads on Iq Soq Xmajun. Or at least, I think I did. It wasn't easy, though. At first, the only stories of interest were about Gridanian poachers dealing in so-called exotic meats, juveniles in other words too, young and too dead to be what we're after. That detour notwithstanding, there were a few other tidbits that might be useful. I got my own thoughts on the matter, but I want to hear your thoughts too. That alright? You know me. Much obliged. So I hear an adventurer came across a whole bunch of strikingly beautiful red feathers just outside the town. Ended up giving them to some kids who've been playing with them ever since. More to the point, there was talk of a huge beast with glowing blue eyes flying off towards a place called the Black Shroud. Glowing blue eyes, interesting. Red feathers, blue eyes, put the two together and it sounds an awful lot like Iq Soq Xmajun. Seems as it's had enough of Hydaelyn and picked the Shroud as its new stamping ground. What about your take on it all? It's a promising lead, and where else are we gonna start? I knew you'd agree. After the amount of mystery meat I had to sample just to squeeze information out of those butchers at the market, I'm glad it all paid off. As for our next move, I reckon we ought to take an airship to Gridania. When I hear, a fellow by the name of Gavin over at the Adder's Nest should be able to tell us more. I'll meet you there. No more once upon a time. I really wish... Okay, Can someone reveal to me that I'm just being stupid? There's no way to like manually change the size of the text box without just increasing all of this to 300%, right? Because the thing is I want the text box to be larger. You can change the text. Well, I know I can change the text size, but can I change the text box, like how big the text box is? Because right now I'm having this issue where like I can't change specifically like the dialogue box, not just like the writing box. I know you can change the text size in your chat box. That's very good. So glad to have you. If my signal ever settles and works, well, hopefully it'll at least be some good background entertainment. I'm just here to work on my lab assignment, databases, and be fun and stuff. It sounds like a good time, Des. Yes, you can right-click on it like any other window. Right-click on it? What do you mean right-click on it? Because, like, I can't click on it in here. Like, it's not showing, it's not one of the mini-map notices. Main menu, duty server info, inventory grid, action help, limit gauge, duty action, 5 precise. Yeah. So it's, like, not in here. So when you say right-click on it, again, specifically we're talking about the dialogue box that would pop up right here for me. Not the chat box. Not in HUD layout, but when it's visible, you can right-click and scale window? What? Am I about to learn, like, dark magic? Give me a second here. No, talk to me. Come on, pretty Eorzean lady, talk to me. Wait, what? What? Oh, I've been playing this game for so long. How did I not know about this? I've been playing this game for so many years. I didn't even know you could right-click on it. Oh my god, this is amazing! Okay, raise your hand. Who else did not know about this? I cannot be the only one. Was I the only one? Thank you, Laffy. Also, why didn't it just not in the HUD options? I guess it's stuck. Yeah, okay. Everyone's learning today. Well, if you're watching the stream now, you know too. Thank you, Laffy. So the problem is I can't do that with the free company, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to worry about doing the free company because now I have it with. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm good to go. Give me a second then to actually tweak this just a little bit. Okay, cool. I want a little bit of. I love all the ways this game can blow my mind still. It really should be in HUD layout. Yeah. We're all now today's lucky 1000. Voltaire, good to glad to have you. As far as I know, there's nothing that. Oh, this is not my quest. This is what's the firmament, where I've already done the quest on Len, so I already know it's the not House Hallionard, but I think Durandare? Zemail? It's whoever, what's his face is, his father, voiced by Xenos, joins you in Siren Song, has a thing with, Roswin. Why am I forgetting his name? Yeah, it's Durandare, yeah. Tarvalin, thank you. How might I help you? I'm after Tural Vidral. I mean, I'm searching for this dangerous creature that's come over from another continent. Oh, look how fast Keshkawa is worth learning. Is it Keshkwa? Probably Keshkwa. If like Kefkiwa is anything to go by. I see. As it happens, I'm aware of a beast that matched the description of this Iq Soq Xmajun. Our scouts spoke of its blue eyes and red wings, and of its aggressive nature leading it to attack any who dare approach. So it really is here in the Shroud, and up to no good already? Thankfully, there have been no deaths so far, but it's only a matter of time before a merchant or adventurer becomes the first. I believe Iq Soq Xmajun came here in search of new territory. Hydaelyn wasn't to its liking, and now it's testing out the Shroud. It would appear so. I'll tell the other adders that you're pursuing the beast, and to lend what assistance they can. I assume that's all right with you. Yes, sir. The more the merrier. Slaying the bastard's what matters, and I ain't too proud to accept help when it's offered. So, where was it last seen? In the South Shroud. Once you get there, head to Quarry Mill and look for Lieutenant Goliath. He's leading the search. Oh, the sheer excitement. I mean, look, one, learning new things, always exciting, but also solving a problem, like, where I love having my UI as minimal as possible. Like, what does it even look like to... Like, yeah, I mean, like, honestly, even this bar down here is a little big for my liking, and usually I keep this shut. So, like, I like having everything as minimal as absolutely possible to keep, you know, the screen empty. I mean, sometimes I'll even just be walking around like this. So learning that I have a way to simultaneously keep everything small and downsized, but also be able to increase the size of the thing I want. Now, the only thing I have left that I wish I could solve, and you guys can't see, because let me change my, let me turn off me for a second. If you, I'll turn on my webcam. If you see here with the chat, right? If you turn your monitor to 4K settings, this bar becomes like huge, and I cannot find a way to scale it down. If I could, then I would finally have everything I want fixed. Sounds good, Rydia. Give Rydia my sounds good, Raven. Give Rydia my best. I'm guessing that's Lieutenant Goliath, but who's those two? I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I gather you too are in pursuit of the creature. You must be Keshqua and Elio. The Adder's Nest sent word to expect you both. I'm Goliath, the officer in charge of the operation. This is Innocent Stork. Oh, so she's a Hellscarp, who's provided us with vital information. A merchant and her employee spotted the beast on the way back from Ul'dah. She's also taken the liberty of assembling a team of experts to assist in tracking the target. At no small expense, I might add. Compared to the loss of my business would suffer were the creatures allowed to roam free, I deemed it worthy investment. As our goals are aligned, perhaps you wish to join my experts in the field. If so, you'll find them near Roots Lake. I'm sure you'll get along swimmingly. Well, good to see, glad to have you. Looks like we're late to the party. Let's go hear what they have to say. Love it when chat takes. Decided to load it. That's a bummer. I miss my careless whisper. Okay, and that wasn't careless whisper. I started just doing aquatic ambience. To be fair, aquatic ambience is a sexy song. Do they ever explain why Viper wears a cotton shirt underneath the heavy leather coat? So one thing I think sometimes people forget is that the materials that you wear, like breathability matters an inordinate amount, and the level to which that shirt breathes is probably like whether it's linen, cotton, or what have you. I would look to the fact that one, the leather provides mobility, but a certain amount of protection against flame and claw, like the sort of things that the Viper would want protection from, and then also allow for their mobility. So I think, and then also they're in environments that are both hot and humid, but also like they go through a whole different swath of environments, right? Like we know they go into the northern part of Jacques-Chiral where it can get very cold. We know that they can go into places like Kozumaoka. We know, so I think they have gear that is fit for all seasons because it's, yeah. Oh. Okay, I saw this one a couple days ago, and I adore this meme. For all those of you who have done Arcadian and who have also grown up watching Ed, Edd and Eddy, Electrope has many uses, Ed boy. My favorite version of that still to this day will always be the version from the Full Metal Alchemist version. Fresh meat for the hunt, eh? Order came down to let you tag along, but don't get underfoot. We're looking for signs of the creature, so our naturalists can predict its movements. We'll then lay traps where it's expected to appear. Get themselves to proper plan, don't they? Seeing as they're being so accommodating, we may as well join in the search. Not to mention that wearing wet leather next to you. Yes, so you don't, I mean, with very few exceptions, you don't want to wear leather as your primary skin contact, like, material. I can tell you, even when it's not wet, it can chafe something fierce. Even when it's like vellum. The dung appears to be that of an enormous beast, judging by its dry appearance and muted odor. It was excreted some time ago. I'm not going to get over the fact that I can right-click on that. Also, I'm sure someone is watching this right now who has been watching the older videos, and like 2.5 years ago, someone pointed this out to me, and I had like the same reaction, but my memory is a sieve. Des, good to see you, glad to have you. You've been summoned. Were you summoned because of the poo? The dung exudes foul odor. The lingering warmth indicates it was recently deposited. I'm assuming you mean because of the electrope. Also, to quote George of the Jungle, cotton breathes. Yeah. Hat of discipline as a 14. These creatures bear the marks of enormous claws on their hindquarters, suggesting they were struck down as they attempted to flee. I'm so tired with warrior play and their relation with poop. I mean, that is the plight of an adventurer, though, and I appreciate that we will never leave it. There are some mysteries left in existence, and also a lot of dirty work. Des, did you know you could resize the chat box? Like the dialogue box? Ooh. Found me a few signs of activity. How about you? Well, dung, and some slayed beasts, but not much. Corpses of grazing animals gouged by monstrous claws. Same here. The size and the depth of the wounds are consistent with how Iq Soq Xmajun hunts. And just like back in Tyrol, it's killing not just to eat, but also mark its territory, to show anyone and everyone who's boss. There you are. Managed to sniff anything out? Yes, sir. Aside from a couple of dunghills, we've got some dead wildlife, most likely the work of Iq Soq Xmajun. I reckon it's closer somewhere north of the swamp. We came to the same conclusion. The predator makes no attempt to cover its tracks. Clearly it has survived so long by virtue of its immense proportions and in spite of its diminished intelligence. You got it all wrong. It left those tracks on purpose to see how we'd react. Are you saying the beast is testing us? That's absurd. The level of foresight and cunning required to even attempt to do so is far beyond these lesser beings. As for the corpses left behind, these animals must not bend to its taste. I suggest using fresh cuts of primal livestock as bait. The bloodier, the better. Once the creature has been enticed, surrounding and subduing it is but a formality. Hate to break it to you, but Iq Soq Xmajun's way too clever to fall for that. You're gonna need every trick in the book, and then some. Rest assured I've considered every eventuality, and even if there was merit to your advice, I will not let it be said that our success was the product of anyone's geniuses but mine and mine alone. I also find that, like, you don't know this creature. You haven't studied this creature. There's no way you've considered of every eventuality. What difference does it make who came up with what? A momentary difference. Innocent Stork offers better rewards based on performance. A monetary difference. Don't even think about trying to steal our thunder. We're the ones who will bring her Iq Soq, whatever its name is, not you. Listen, we're trained to fight large predators like these. If you've got any sense, you'll let us take the lead. And put our lives in the hands of complete strangers? I think not. There's no place in our strategy for you. So stand aside and wait further instructions. Fine, have it your way. If you're half the hunters you think you are, Iq Soq Xmajun is as good as dead, right? Come on, Elio. Let's leave him to it. Nothing good ever came from working with people you can't trust. Even I know that. Then it's decided. You two will wait at the southern end of the lower paths. Be ready to give chase in case the beast escapes us. Not that it will. Man, you guys really are just tempting the gods. Smells nasty, beard. Look, poop jokes are endemic to MMORPGs. Wow, it's quite a few. I kind of figured after I discovered I could scale things like the window that pops when you try on gear. Wait, you can do what now? Oh, yes. Okay, $5 to anyone who can figure out how to help me scale the text chat bar. Not the text in the bar, but specifically the bottom of the chat. Like the where the gear icon and the X and all that is. And I mean scale it beyond the two bounds of just non-HD or non-4K and 4K. Elzen do have nice legs, thank you. This is like that bear group all over again. Entire adventure lives cut short by the giants. Yeah. A viper should be the one to finish off Iq Soq Xmajun. The people avenge our brother to properly avenge our brothers in arms. But really, it doesn't matter who does the deed, as long as the beast dies. Man, I like Keshqua. Not the text input field, so here I will, after this I will point it out. Specifically where it says like the different categories and where the gear icon, plus icon, and X icon are. Awful quiet, don't you think? You hear that? That must be one of the hunting party. It came from the north. Let's move. Okay, well this. So, if I turn off my webcam, you will see in the text box there's general, battle, 24, NPC, gear icon, plus icon X. The only way I found to scale it is if you put it to 4K, you'll notice it grows bigger. The problem is I want to keep it at the full HD size, but I want to get everything else up to the 4K size. Or at the very least, I want to shrink it, because you'll notice if I put it to 400K and I turn on my webcam, you can still see the X at the bottom on the outside of my thing. I do not want that. I want no X's, no O's, no bitches, no hoes. Anyways, seen Viper cosplayers of Lady Maria, but never twin fang with one long blade and one short blade of proper length. I mean, I would love to just do a general cosplay as Lady Maria. She's probably my favorite Bloodborne boss. And also the Rikuyo is just rad. Have you ever tried keeping the resolution at 4K and scaling the UI down in the same settings window? Maybe that's how it did it. So the thing is that works for all the other UI elements besides the thing I'm pointing out. Like that's the thing, is the one I'm talking about like specifically doesn't respond to that, or at least it hasn't whenever I affect it. I'm also now going to try right-clicking every menu. I know it hurts. Please, tell us what happened. It was watching us. The fresh lamb should draw the target out of hiding. Though, if I lace it with the toxin I brought, success is practically guaranteed. Toxin. We were explicitly told not to kill the beast, in case you've forgotten. Of course not. It can be used as a sedative. Highly potent, only lethal if applied in excess. If you lack the stomach for it, I'll do it myself.
Naturally, my personal contributions will be detailed in the final report to ensure credit is given where due.
What the hells are you playing at? If it catches wind, the plan's ruined.
Shouldn't we go after them? No, it'll only make things worse. If the bookworm wants to stick his neck out for the few gil, I say let him.
What? No! Ah!
Hot damn. Those are some blue eyes. Gods have mercy, there it is! Stay calm, nothing's changed, except the bait. Now's our chance.
Hell, some fooly fools.
Ah! They were screaming. I ran, but I could still hear. You were right. It knew. It knew. Keshqua, Elio, by the 12, what happened here?
The hunters became the hunted.
I shall see that the remains are recovered and the necessary rites are performed. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to return to Quarry Mill and share these unfortunate tidings with innocent Stork.
And some of the Viper Quest production values are better than like most of A Realm Reborn. Damn, it's good afternoon to you. Good to see you, glad to have you. God damn it, Leroy. I think you can do that by setting the UI scale to 4K, then going to the UI editing grid and manually setting the elements to be smaller. If by UI, do you mean the HUD? Or do you mean something else? Because the problem with this is that that option's not available as if you look. See, you can't select the text log as a option to edit. Have you tried keeping resolution 4K and scaling down the UI, the same settings window? Yeah, maybe I'll try that again, but I'm pretty sure I did already try that. What type of animal is Soq Xmajun? I presume it's griffin oriented, but I would have to look at all of the creatures. I haven't looked at the entire bestiary of like Tural closely enough to know whether or not it's just actually more the way that other Vidrals are shown to be seen like creatures that have changed up. Y'all, the boy.
I'd anticipated casualties, but it was a massacre.
Iq Soq Xmajun grows bolder. Before it only hunted animals, lone travelers, prey it knew it could handle with ease. Its past brushes with death taught it to be cautious. It's probably why it fled to Ral in the first place. First place too. But it just outwitted a group of armed hunters. Instead of running away from trouble, the beast went looking for it. This was sport, a game. It was having fun. And now that it's had a taste, it's only gonna want more.
My poor judgment invited this tragedy. I must make amends. Please, allow me to assist you in pursuing the creature. Even without a team of experts at my disposal, I believe my network of contacts will prove useful in gathering vital information. We'd be grateful for information, but leave the hunting to us. Understood. I place my faith in your abilities as Vipers.
Appreciated, ma'am. If you turn up any leads, be sure to let us know.
Did we? I'd best return to the Adder's Nest and deliver my report. It's imperative we inform the populace of the threat posed by Iq Soq Xmajun. Might I ask you that you use Quarry Mill as your temporary base of operations? Knowing where to find you will make it easier to coordinate our efforts.
Suits me fine. Besides, I got plenty to do here. Like learn about this neck of the woods and the critters and whatnot. But while I have you, there's one thing I want to ask. How did the twin adders get their name?
I beg you. Well, you see, it actually dates back to Gelmora, but I'm sure they'll explain it. I beg your pardon? What does that have to do with Iq Soq Xmajun?
Nothing really. It's just that us Vipers base on our fighting arts on snakes, so they're near and dear to our hearts. Might even say we've got a reverence for them.
Is that so? I suppose we also feel a kinship towards snakes. The name Twin Adders comes from the pair of white snakes of the Gridanian Standard. The imagery predates the city-state's founding. There's more I could tell you, though I fear other matters. No! There's good Ow! Why? Why would you do that? Oh, there's good deep lore about Gelmora and how they're pulled from Gelmora. Oh, no. Why is it every time they start to talk about have a lore deep dive, they fucking...
No lore for you. With a history as long as that, we've been here talking until the pack has come home.
And let us do that!
I'd love to hear more about it, but I understand it'll have to wait.
Lore cocked.
I best get to learning what I can about Iq Soq Xmajun. While I see to that, maybe you ought to squeeze in some more training.
That is a perfect way. Anytime deep lore is avoided, Elio takes 2d4 psychic damage. That is absolutely correct. I don't suppose he I was hoping the NPC might stay around here and I could actually talk to him about it. That's why that feels okay. Was this specifically designed to tease me? Because I feel like it feels like it. It certainly feels like it. That is just cruel. Oh, god damn it! I didn't do the thing, guys. If anyone feels any better here, you know what? Give me a second. Let me pull out. E1 has a decent enough section on it. Let's just read this, because I will not allow the game to not let me share the wonders that is the lore of this game. Here, the flag. The white lily upon Gridania's standard signifies mankind's first congress with the elementals, while the golden field represents the lands filled with elementals' power. I think it'd be green, but anyways. The entwined serpents. Well, actually, I guess with the heaven of earth. But anyways, the entwined serpents originate with the ancient subterranean city of Gelmora and proclaim the goodwill and unity of Eorzean and Hyr in raising Gridania. If you also notice, you can see that twin adder symbol in Tempterra, because it's a Gelmoran ruin. I presume somewhere in Isamhar, Palace of the Dead, you can probably see it. I don't know for sure. God, we should also start doing the side quests, either as opening or I'll just do them off stream. We'll see. Oh wait, right, I can't teleport to Pokemon. Okay. That's exactly the problem. I'm a bit curious though. Vipers and Turol, does anyone remember seeing any at all? Are they supposed to be specialized to have so few number? My impression is that they're relatively specialized, but we also know they have a specific village. We of the ones that we know, that I know of, I mean, us, Keshqua, Zoralja. I don't know about later in the MSQ quest or the role quest because I haven't done them on Lend. So, can't say for those.
My impression is that they're somewhat specialized, though, so that they're not. There's not a huge number of them. Oh wait, Kozumaka still has 3. Huh. Let's go, milkshake. There should have been an if you want to know more by Encyclopedia Eorzean Volume 1. Yeah. I can't wait when I'm done with all this to show you guys the space in my like little bookshelf over to my side, floating shelves full of Chronicles of Light. You know what? They really need to do a Chronicles of Light Volume 2. I'm really surprised they haven't yet. I mean, think about it. The last Chronicles of Light ends with Stormblood. So it's only the Realm Reborn's Heavensward's. They could probably do almost a Chronicles of Light Volume 3, right? Because you have Tales from the Shadow, Tales from the Twilight. Like, you have at least 4 expansions of short stories to do. Have we gotten any? We haven't gotten any Dawn Trail ones yet. No, we have to have, and I just missed them. Lodestone. I know the Lodestone connects to all of them. Related sites. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Tales from the Shadow. God, I wish they would just make them all like on one site so it was a lot easier to get to the ones you wanted. Tales from the Calamity, Tales from the Dragonsong War, Tales from the Shadow, Tales from the Twilight, Tales from the Dawn, Tales Under the New Moon. Yeah, the last one was while preparing the arrival exchange of students. Yeah, the last ones we had was Tales of the New Moon. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had any for Dawn Trail yet. I mean, like, there was some interstitial stuff that's setting up old things, like Graha going to Locus Menos and stuff, but... Yes, more Chronicles of Light. Yeah, nothing for Dawn. We have enough. Chronicles of Light Volume 2 absolutely could be done right now, and honestly, they have to be doing one right now. Ghoul Jaja counts. Is Ghoul Jaja considered a Viper? Do they like, specify that? I mean, he has, like, it's not that I don't say he's the weapon or the skill to be considered one, but is he, like, actually classified as one? I can't remember. An Archangel clearly uses the Viper animations. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean they're Viper, but yes, I see your point. Doing those 3 I've seen: Ghoul Jaja, Zeralja, Retired Hunter, and Solution 9. We need Tales from a New Dawn. Yeah. We definitely do. It's like our friend said, the people are in no mood for our festivities. I can only assume they're still recovering from the damage wrought by the storm. Indeed. Well, let's do what we came to do and find this elector. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while each time to get into the Wukulmat voice. Oh Kylie! Oh Kali? Oh Kali? Kali? I'm assuming Oh Kali. Lee, yeah. I'm gonna go with Lee. Oh, what now? It's a Hanu greeting. Surely you've heard it the last time you were here. Well, I was busy enjoying the festival. Greetings to the Third Promise and her entourage. I, Zanuhali, welcome you to Okanu. As elder of my people, I shall also be fulfilling the duties of elector during the rite of succession. So our idea about the electors was correct. We just do as Papa said and retrace his path from the saga. I'm ready. Give me the feat and test my worth. All in good time. All in good time. In fact, I came to let you know that we are not quite ready to begin. For the moment, please enjoy the hospitality of our village.
Should we poke around a bit then? We might pick up some clues about the feat. You know, prepare ourselves. That's surprisingly prudent of you. What, you think I'm being too cautious? No, I'm impressed is all. You admire the respect your father, who is prone to decisive action, so I expected you to rush in first and ask questions later. Or never. I do look up at Papa, but you should know that he has a pragmatic side too. The head of reason is the thinker who takes the time to consider all the possibilities. With the long naps he takes these days, though, the head of resolve is less restrained by his wisdom. I can't fault you for thinking that that's all there is to him, but there's more to the Dawn Servant than you've seen thus far. I should like to speak with the head of reason one day. Ah, well, I'm sure you'll catch him awake soon enough. To return to the subject at hand, you wish to take a look around at Okanu then? Do some groundwork before the feat begins. Something like that. I mean, I could probably pass the test with my eyes closed, but it'll keep us busy while we're waiting. Wuklamat has the rights of it. As Elder Zanuhali is a resident of this village, learning more about it can only improve our chances in the feat. Might I suggest a division of force? For instance, Erinville, Alice, and Kral could concentrate on the southern half of the settlement. Meanwhile, Wuklamat, Elio, and myself will handle the northern half. Sounds good to me. Tales from Tyrol. I would say Tales from a new saga. Tales from a new, or something. Okay, question. Is it just me? I always oriented myself assuming that where I enter the map from is going to be in the south. Like, if you look at a lot of the maps in the game, not all, but a lot of the maps, like in, like if we look in Dravani, like here, right? You start in the south of the Western Highland. You start in what is effectively the southern part of Sea of Clouds. You start in like you start at the west, but more the southern part. You know, you're down near closer to the bottom for the hinterlands. It's like most maps, you start either near the bottom or at the least on a side. But it's weird because I'm facing this way in my mind should be like this direction should be north and this direction should be south, but it's actually the opposite because you start up at the top. Also, from a geographical standpoint, it's interesting to me that they're aligned like this because, like, Yaktael is here, Kozumauka is here. So, like, Yaktael should be further down, if anything. But instead, Yaktael's up here, which, I mean, like, yeah, you could put it here and this here, and it works the same. But it's just weird because Kozumauka specifically is further north than Yaktael. Oh, hello, Laffy. Sorry. Curious if I had anything interesting to say. I want to pay really close attention to this time because I know a lot of people feel like the first half of the story is disconnected, but I feel very strongly that the first half of the story is all about taking Wuklama and showing a character, first off, who's more maybe mature than it's seen, but then refining that character and putting them into a position where their leadership makes sense, which then is really important for a juxtaposition to the back half of the story. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to say that the damage from the storm has been repaired, and our stores are open for business. If you have any bicolor gemstones to trade, I'd love to take a look. I do have bicolor gemstones to trade, however, I will not be giving them to you at the moment. I have a theory that Erinville just picked up the Viera accent as part of his training as a gleaner. Some adults do pick up foreign accents they didn't have as. I mean, that's just been my leading assumption because what other answer is there? You didn't see it behind the map, but I did. Oh. Thank you very much. But does anybody else get disoriented like that in the map? Like the fact that, or is this just like a very particular me thing? The gaping hole in the wall and missing portion of the roof are clearly the work of the storm's powerful winds. Repairs appear to be ongoing. Mistra, good to glad to have you. Thanks for the drop by. Oh, you heard about the storm. I've never seen the likes of it before. When the supplies and help the Dawn Servant sent, we're making progress, repairing and rebuilding our homes. This is also important, but while roofs and walls can be patched, there's so much else that was lost for good. Ugh. So like, people, I've seen people give credit like, oh, why wasn't Ghoul Jaja helping them? Why was he just using them for the right? And it's like, first off, they established that Ghoul Jaja was helping them, but also that there's, you know, further work to be done. And it's been, if I'm not mistaken, it's only been a couple of days. I don't, like, they said at the beginning, they said it was like, it had been I forget what word they used, but it can't have been more than a week since all this happened. So it's just in the process of being repaired, and everyone got hit, right? Elio, you need to take a talking map minion, like maybe the one Dora has. I'm the map! A lot of houses are still damaged, and the Hanu I've spoken to are not their usual cheery selves. The storm broke more than the wood and reeds. There must be something I can do to help. I'm going to look around a bit more. And people having spirit, right? People feeling. Sometimes it's not the thing that kills is not the lack of resources. Sometimes it's just the lack of will or spirit or cheer. After spending time in the middle northern part of Zoctoral, he began speaking strangely of cheese curds and football. Look, I grew up in Wisconsin primarily, so you know, you want to talk about cheese curds, beer, and football. I mean, I don't know shit about football, but I can somewhat talk about it. The dry and shrunken bundles suggest the reeds were harvested some time ago. Trust me, it can be very easy to pick up an accent. Just watching an episode 2 of BBC show or talking to my family in Louisiana, I pick up the accent, yeah. I mean, look, of all the things to like be caught up in a bugbear about, Erenville having specifically picked up the Turalian accent picked up the Eorzean accent is not that weird. I mean, look, to be fair, it would make more sense if he specifically picked up like the general Curian or Charlian accent. The fact that it's Vieren is a little weird, but I also absolutely buy the headcanon that he specifically picked up the Vieren accent because he didn't want people to know he was a Shitona and didn't want to have any association with Tural, because specifically, he was trying to get away from Tural. He was trying to get away from all of that. So, like, for me, that's just the easy answer. It would be really funny to hear Erenville's actor, though, trying to, like, kind of return his accent a little bit to, like, an American accent. What would it even sound like? I need a voice line. A lot of houses are still damaged, and the Hanu I spoke to are not their usual cheery selves. A lot of the Hanu are still damaged, and the Hanu I spoke to are not their usual cheery selves. I trying to do the Icelandic accent and an American accent the same, like, I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to be. Astoria! Good to see about it. It lines up with him taking on a different name, too. Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely lines up. There's nothing weird about it, I think, from my character perspective. It just is a recontextualization, bordering on a retcon with Erenville that I think is perfectly fine. You sound like a hillbilly there. Woven from reeds, this boat-like vessel is reminiscent of a bird. The beak and feathered tail in particular stand out. Oh, I should have talked to Alphino first. The storm came through like a band of brigands, seeking to browbeat us into submission. Not only did it make a show of its strength by tossing heavy crates and furniture as if they were fledgling playthings, it proved its savagery by trying to pluck out our feathers too. I'm a little sad that they established this, so this is where the new Pelu Pelu quest is. I'm still kind of hopeful that maybe they'll repair the staircase as part of that quest. It would make sense. The moat must be woven from the same reeds I've seen gathered into bundles here and there. The plants hold both practical and cultural significance to Hanu, then. Hello, can you all hear me? I'm told they're ready to receive us now. Come to the large building in the south of the village. On my way. We ought to hurry over, too. Erenville shows up next patch. Howdy, y'all. My name's Erenville, also known as Eleneshpia.
No sign of Zorolja or that oversized lout. How much easier it would be if Soralja were to fail here. But that isn't likely to happen.
What's up with this Dutch angle?
Honored guests, I am Zanuhali, elder of the Hanu.
Zanuhali is a female.
I am also an elector, charged with judging which among you is worthy of ascending the throne. Without further ado, let us talk of the feat.
Not so fast. Surely you couldn't begin without us.
You made it after all.
No need to fuss. There is no time limit for this challenge.
I love that they use the
Now,
Vada
if
music.
you would allow me to proceed. It is here, in Okanu, where my people forged a bond with the Dawn Servant during our own chapter of the Tuli Yolal saga. In homage to those events, I have prepared for you the Feat of Reeds.
Reeds seem to be of great importance to the Hanu. I wonder what this feat entails.
Oh, I didn't realize that structure up there, that's probably supposed to be Yokui, isn't it?
We use reeds in every part of our lives, be it as food or weaving material. But look around the nearby paddies, and you will see that this season, our crops are failing. How fortunate, then, that my appointment to elector coincided with this predicament. For surely, those who aspire to be Dawn Servant would find the matter of an ailing harvest a mere trifle to resolve.
Aye, well, it is indeed the duty of a ruler to address the people's woes.
Exactly, exactly. Do well in this, and you will earn my keystone.
Why bother mucking about in the mud when we can take the stone by force?
Oh, mercy me! You are a hot-headed fellow, Bakul Jaja. Some electors may enjoy going toe-to-toe with scrappers like you, but I refuse to entertain your base instincts. Arrangements have been made. Should you attempt to engage a feat giver in combat without their consent, word of your immediate disqualification will be sent to the palace. If you're still feeling feisty, then by all means, draw your weapon.
This contest is presided over by cowards. There's no sport in fighting you.
Then we can return to the business of earning my
A
keystone.
cool judge out here defining toxic masculinity. I mean, not literally,
The feat of reeds is begun.
but there's interesting
Claimants,
parallels, right?
I wish you the best of luck.
He's not allowed to be kind because he has to be cruel because of what is on his shoulders, because that is what strength is, and strength is the only way to make what is done in his name and his creation worth
The
it.
clever kitty crossed the seas to study foreign novelties. He might know tricks we don't. Tricks we can use.
Apparently, this is the
What
same
of
voice
Little
actor.
Miss Mittens?
You know the answer to that. Compared to the first and second promise, she's a distant third. Not even in the running.
Then we see eye to eye on this, brother. Being Bakul Jaja so long with me has rubbed off on you. These allies of hers, though, they might be a problem.
I think part of the things that like Dontrell's MSQ doesn't get credit for enough is that part of the point it's trying to make is that the ability to just
Damn it! I'm just as qualified to be here as they are. I'll show them.
Easy now. There's no time limit, remember? Let's keep calm and think things through.
Right. You're right. I won't win against that lumbering Vidrol by losing my head.
Remember, Vidrol means tyrant. But like, part of the thing that I feel like is, like, it's not like, oh, power of friendship. What it is the point is like her entire nation is built as a coalition, right? Wait, do I have? I don't think I installed Rouge. Oh, for Chroma Key. Right. So like the thing is that she, like, her capacity in doing that is not like, oh, my friends are my power. It is like literally the ruler that is able to unify people, to work with people, to have allies who stand together is like, it's not just like generally important. I'd argue thematically it's constantly generally important in the game, but like it's specifically for Tulial as a nation that requires far more than strength, far more than anything, a ruler who can actually create and unify a coalition of peoples. Yeah, I saw a video of doing both. Okay, that's cool, Levy. I wonder if there's ever been any female blessed siblings. They mentioned brothers and sisters lately. I don't think they mean they're blessed sibling sisters. I think they just mean that like the brothers and sisters who perished, who weren't successful. Would be interesting, but wouldn't they have to make a new model for female two-head? Yes. They would need to, or at least alter the body. Yeah. Problem is our middle name, Warrior of the Problem of Light. They do consider Tyrell's a Federation. Yeah. We're the Problem of Lights. Have a good one, Sarah. Hope works okay. Not that I intend to gratify him with response, but Bakul Jaja's provocations are hard to ignore. So the Hanu also eat the reeds, yet another way in which they differ from the Vanu. Yeah, I think I appreciate Bakul Jaja a little bit more the first time around because and I said it last episode, but I also want to say it again here, the specificity of why I appreciate it, because it helps me remember it going forward. It is that in the beginning, for me, he felt mustache twirly. And to be fair, he is kind of a lot still, even now. But but instead of just being much, the ways in which he is showing not only bravado but that incompassion, that lack of compassion, is rooted in a specificity around his upbringing, Mamuk, and the context of the blessed siblings. So I feel, because my problem going through Don't Trail the first time around is the point at which we reach later feels like it comes very quickly as a turn. But I think it makes more sense with the context that all of this bravado is, to a certain extent, forced from the get-go because it has trained all that he is ever to be, allowed to be, and can be to make any of the sacrifices and choices that have been done worth it. He has to be a tyrant. He has to be powerful. He has to be strong. He has to be unswayable. He has to be, like, they have to be, so I feel like I appreciate it because I already loved Bakul Jaja in the second half of the game, but I was a little like, okay, I feel like we twisted this very quickly. But yeah. I do a giant ball of insecurity that slowly unravels until he comes apart and has to put himself back together again. Yeah, and my only problem the first time through is it felt like he put himself back together, was willing to put himself back together again, real quick, like he changed, like the unraveling and the putting back happened in a quick turn. I feel like the thing, though, is that the unraveling is actually always present, and the facade is much stronger than maybe I perceived it as in the first go. Fan concept of females blessed siblings before? Ooh, if you find that, Laffy, definitely pass it to me in conference. Also, Codex, I saw your message. I think I have tried that, but I will give it a shot again after stream, just because I know when you start, when you mess with the apply to all, it can cause some weird changings around, so. This is a kind of feat that is a tailor-made for a rational, educated scholar like Kona. I I understand not wanting to fall behind, but rushing ahead risks playing into our opponent's hands. Let's not do anything reckless and think matters through. I don't know the first thing about farming, but there's a way to save the harvest and help the Hanu. Then we're going to find it. I'll make Bakul Jaja eat his words. Understanding the nature of the problem will be the key to solving it. We need to examine the reeds themselves and then deduce the cause of their poor condition. Erenville, will you take us to the fields where the reeds are grown? Of course. Follow me. Sweet, found it. Yeah, pass it to me when you get a chance. Up, straight to the top. Ooh, dope. I don't know if you're around right currently, but I just saw the app shrinking thing. That's rad. Sweet. Oh, that's interesting. I would have gone a different way. Not like in a I don't like it way. I actually think that's actually a really cool way to go with it. I feel like I would have gone slightly different, but this is lovely, actually. Who is the artist? Do you happen to... Beans McGee, I think is their Twitter. Yeah, Beans McGee, Fishy Beans. That's cool. I see. They irrigate the fields by diverting water from the neighboring river. It's unlikely the reeds ever dry out. And there I thought these feats would be us battling dire fiends or similar. Agriculture is far thornier problem. Fishy Beans on Twitter, okay. Look at these fields. Why, this could be a painting. I know she wants to do her best, but she should be careful not to make her promises she cannot keep. You can all stand back. I'll get to the bottom of this problem in no time. Give me strength. Let's all of us scour the fields and help our bold leader identifying anything unusual. Literally, I'll say, ugh, I have to think. Yeah. I find it interesting that Bakul Jaja uses the river's wreath staff as an axe with the river's breath longsword. I think he was using it more as a foci with the head of, with his head of reason, but as Zanu Hawley described, these reeds appear wilted and unhealthy. Okay. Well, while we're going through this, I have a question for y'all. What do you think? Not what do you want, but if you had to guess right now with 7.1 out, and obviously things are going to change drastically, and what reason we have for thinking whatever the next expansion is going to be is going to change wildly. What do you think the next expansion will be? Like, where do you think we'll go? The water contains no obvious contaminants and looks fresh and clear at a cursory glance. Corvos, yeah. I definitely wouldn't be, especially if it's a Mericidia expansion. Corvos being one of the maps just makes a ton of sense. The soil in the paddies is as one would expect, rich in color and suitably moist, not dry nor flaky. Have the EX mounts been released yet? Yeah, well, the first two haven't, and yeah, this Fiend one, yeah. 1 through 3 have. Don't they always release with the fight? Am I crazy? They always just release with the fight, right? Not amiss with the paddies themselves, as far as I can tell. Oh, a water strider. A bit sluggish, though. More of a water shambler. I'll find the cause of this any moment now. Their wings, their flying wings, Des. And I don't think they always really tease them. Sometimes they have, obviously with like the lanners and like I don't feel like the cats necessarily super teased this expansion. Actually, did I get the Valley Garmondo wings on? I don't think I got it on Elio. I think I got it with someone else. Yeah, no, I don't have the Valley Garmondo wings on Elio. Any luck? Sometimes I wish we could take frame screenshots we take in game as pictures as furnishing items. That would be cool, although I feel like that would be abused very quickly. I should specify, I guess I think it'll be Mericidia, but Corvos will be the focus. Interesting, yeah. I feel like if we got Corvos, it would be a good justification for dealing with Garlemald stuff. Well, for all of you guys who've seen like that 7.0 Mericidia video I made, basically all of those reasonings and rationale completely stand for making it 8.0 or 9.0, really. So like the thing is, it allows them to re-engage with the Garlemald stuff, it allows them to engage with the Corvos stuff, it allows them to engage with the Mericidia stuff. I think it just makes a ton of sense. Ooh, what would you name a Mericidia expansion? Worm Throne? I guess it depends on what it's about, right? Endwalker, Shadowbringers, we're bringing Shadow, Storm Blood, the storm, you know, the motif of the storm and it being war and blood. Heaven's Word to the sky, you know, and a Heaven's Ward, a Realm Reborn, Dawn Trail, you know, or Gilded Legacy, either of both of those. Lethargic Frog. A small frog catches your eye, strangely lackadaisical, doesn't even bother to hop when it eventually scurries away. Poor bud. It depends on what it's about, right? Like, what is the core conflict in that? Is it rooted in weapons of the past and dangers from Allag and dangers from Garlean, the complications of Garlean continuance? Is it like ancient void entities or ancient weapons or problems left behind by Allag and Mericidia? Is it something that Mericidia, due to the pain caused to it by the past and the scars that have never fully healed, is planning to attack other places? You know, like what is the threat? What is the danger? And what are we bringing to that case? Seen enough? I'll call everyone together and we can share our discoveries. Well, what do we think? Any obvious problems? Well, pretty much everything's to be lifeless for the most part. I agree. The waters look to be of good quality, as does the mud in which the reeds have been painted. The frogs and insects are usually torpid. This suggests the problem is affecting not only the reeds, but also the creatures which live among them. Could something invisible to the naked eye be polluting the water? We would need an alchemist to know for certain. I don't have much to add about the fields, but something else occurs to me. While you were describing how the creatures seemed lifeless, I couldn't help but be reminded of all the listless villagers. They've suffered a terrible tragedy, I know, but there's another reason for their flagging spirits, I believe. Go on. The festival! This is traditionally an occasion for celebration and renewal, so without it, the Hanu are struggling even more to recover. The last time I visited the village was in the middle of the festivities. You'll never seen the Hanu more joyful and alive. It's an indispensable part of their culture, and its absence will only compound their woes. So I say we help them put on their festival, give them a reason to cheer in these sad times. Who knows? Maybe fixing one problem could lead us to the solution for the other. Another point. This is not just a shot in the dark in terms of like I feel like it's been treated that like she's like, oh, I think this will solve all the problems. But like the point she's making is that like, hey, everything seems lifeless and they're struggling. Helping them out may help us solve what actually is the root cause of this. You know, and it so happens that it actually ends up being the solution in its own right. But it's like, people need more than just sustenance to exist. How many of you guys have technically had all your needs provided for you at any point in your life and just still also felt unhappy, right? Like technically you had shelter, you had, you might have had shelter, you might have had food, you might have had, you know, even technically friends or family, but you just still, you know, we cannot live on bread alone. Yeah. Well, stranger things have happened. Right! Right? I failed to see the relation between festival and fields. Let's not be too hasty in dismissing the idea. Things which seem unrelated can later prove to be connected in surprising ways. True, and being bereft of ideas as we are, any proposal is worth entertaining. I suppose. Besides, this is Wukumat's journey. It's only right that we follow her lead. Thanks, everyone. By the way, does anyone know where the festival float is? It's like a boat woven from reeds that looks like a bird. Yeah, it's over being worked on in the side. And that big building in the north? Then let's go and see it. The main design makes me think of condors and vultures, so I could be teasing more of North Tyrol or Mericidia. I don't think, we're not going to see an expansion that deals with Tyrol. There's much less debate when I'm traveling alone. Aaronville. We would see variant dungeons, I think, explore the places we haven't gone in Tyrol. I don't think we're going to be ever, I don't think we'll probably ever get a map here again, personally. I mean, wings also could make you think of dragons. It's about repairing relations and rebuilding the world, RE, Garlemald, and Legacy and stuff. It'd be something like Fate Mender. Oh, yeah. Fate Mender, Fate Mender. Okay, let's see. Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, Dawn Trail, Heaven's Ward. It's only a Realm Reborn that's the 3. And then it's Realm Reborn, you could still say it's 2. Now I'm thinking. The handles give me pause before, but now I understand their purpose. Look at the size of that thing. I hope they don't expect me to help carry it. Oh, thank Flappy. PvP stuff is awfully a subtle hint for the next expansion. I mean, right now the PvP stuff all looks very still Solution 90. Mericity. I feel like we're all on the Mericity. The only thing that makes me, the two things that make me think not Mericity are one of which I can't talk about right now, but a certain goblet, a certain key. But the other thing is that, frankly, the Mericity is what I would expect, and Yoshi P loves surprising people. What the Warrior of Light is doing are the roles in the line of thinking. Yeah. What a charming float. I wonder what bird was the inspiration for its design. Oh, you sweet summer child. Yes, this is the float. I remember. Does it not appear somewhat damaged to you? We should take a closer look. It's also weird to me how, like, now we have 2 Final Fantasy X references. Well, I guess we already have one with the Pelu Pelu, but... Oh dear, one of the bird's eyes seem to be missing a gemstone. Because we have, like, the Yakta Elf forests are based off of Makalania, like, very clearly. We have the Pelu Pelu, and then we also have basically Rin's travel agency now with the quest. Oh, that's definitely broken. How will they lift the great big vessel without all the carrying poles intact? I remember I struggled. I remember going through this and remembering I couldn't find the final thing. Where was it? Ah. These tail feathers have seen better days. I swear the colors were a lot brighter the last time I saw them. Well, I think we can all agree this bird boat is in dire need of repairs. Now, how do we go about fixing it? What is going on here? We were admiring your festival float. 'Tis a shame it's in such poor state due to the recent storm, I gather. Yes, we have to leave it exposed while we ushered our people to safety. With the float in this condition, There can be no lifting of wings. No Ihihana. Ihihana! That's what the festival was called. I want you to help hold it. Actually, I need to write down Ihihana. That's one of the words we have voiced. Any of you know what Ihihana? Did they tell us what? Somewhere, someone tells you what Ihihana means. I know, like, what it translates to. Have you not seen our village? Homes are ruined. We are struggling to make repairs, and you want us to hold a harvest festival? I know how it sounds, but giving into misery never improved anyone's situation. Celebration of life and growth may help give you strength to work through this tragedy. The role of festival leader is mine this year. There's nothing I would like more than to lift everyone's spirits. But we don't even have enough materials to repair the float. We need aboxia for the missing eye, uyupio wood for the poles, and feathers from the winds chosen to adorn the tail. 2 of these I know. Aboxia is the type of precious stone used in arcane equipment, and uyupio wood is essential for crafting ceremonial instruments. These chosen feathers, however... The wind chosen is the victor of a competition in which the contestant sees who can blow a feather the furthest using wind magics, and that's something of a problem right now. We Hanu are gifted at employing such airy sorceries, but expanded a great deal of mana when doing so. We are so soon exhausted by the effort, and having no reeds to eat will only make it harder. I think I understand. Your vibrant reeds grow quickly and vigorously, so much so that they stifle the development of nearby plants. They must be a potent source of energies you naturally lack. They are indeed. Owing to the poor harvest this year, we have been left enervated, and if we cannot gather the correct materials as dictated by custom, we cannot repair the festival float. Oddly enough, we may have just stumbled upon our solution. The Wind's Chosen would, by necessity, have a natural gift for manipulating magical energies, which means any feathers taken from the victor should be high in ethereal conductivity. The float's construction also requires a stone used in arcane equipment, as well as timber favored for ceremonial tools. The demand for such specific materials must have an underlying reason. Oh my god, Waiter the Flow's actually a secret weapon for smiting the Hanu foes. So you're saying that the float itself may be an arcane device? Precisely what I was thinking. This boast of reeds is in fact an arcane focus of some kind. A focus? For what? Oh, Ihihana! It's a harvest festival, isn't it? That must mean the float was made to encourage healthy crops, so if we repair the boat and hold the festival, its arcane powers might fix what's wrong with the reeds. We won't know until we try, but 'tis a sound theory. Celebration, prayer, ritual ceremonies, these have all been known to elicit miraculous effects. Wait. The float, a tool for magic? This is the first I am hearing of it. In the beginning, it may well not have been. After a good harvest year, there would be no reason to change it. But when the harvest was poor, new adornments were likely added, and those who performed the labor may have imbued their work with the ardent hopes for a brighter future. Through years of trial and error, the Hanu would have refined their festival float into a focus for harvest prayers. Incredible. I know you're practically fainting from hunger, but reviving Ihihana really does sound like a solution to all your woes, and I promise we'll do everything in our power to help you. I am still not convinced about this focus business, but I accept your aid nonetheless. I will introduce you to the shipwright who's been maintaining the float these last few years. He's replaced both the eyes and the poles before, so he should know where and how to procure what is needed. Then allow Alice and I to acquire the feathers. We will encourage the people of Okhanu to gather and vie for the title of the Wind's Chosen by sharing with them our own reserves of mana. I'll go with you. I can carry some alchemical brews that may afford them some effect. Reeds edible to other races, or they should be edible, but I'm not sure. I don't know how much like humans could, but I mean, like, plenty of the creatures in 14 would have digestive tracts quite different. The 3 of us will visit the shipwright then. Not without me. I worked hard to fix the float as best I can. Responsibility is mine, after all. I've not introduced myself yet. My name is Linu Hanu. Nice to meet you, Linu Hanu. And certainly, let's all go together. Reminder that we'll be running the new Alliance raid after stream. Yes, we were running the Alliance raid weekly on Tuesdays. If you would like to join us, you can go sign up for it over on the Discord. I think we still have like 12 slots. If you enjoy the stream and are a member of Discord, come join us at discord.gg/Eorzean Archives. And if you like what we do, consider showing your support and signing up for our Patreon at patreon.com/Eorzean Archives. You do not need to sign up for it. There is, in terms of like no content is being locked behind it. Also, I put up my first piece of content that was not a stream in a while. I put up a short just a couple of days ago, and there will be more coming. I've got plenty in the works. I've got 3 interviews now down for Eorzean Archived. I just need to edit them. They're like 2-3 hours though. So yeah, content coming out. I personally don't see anything wrong giving into misery and despair. I also skipped Endwalker. Okay, Des. Be horrendous for a development standpoint, but I agree it would be interesting. Be interesting to see a globetrotting expansion, the adds on 1 new zone to each expansion. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Des. Actually, that occurred to me too, which is just like going back and saying like, what if, you know what would be cool is if whatever the final expansion is, like the final like what we get like the second arc for 14 and maybe 14 starts winding down a little bit. If 14 got a Rhapsodies of Vana'diel and our final expansion was basically a like going back to everywhere, but also exploring a little bit of places we hadn't been to. So like an extra map for each place in the world. That'd be cool. There will be. Thanks to Wuklamat, we found ourselves a promising way forward. Experience and knowledge are valuable assets, but there's something to be said for following one's instincts. The shipwright's name is Wook Evu. Yes! Let's fucking go, Wook Evu! He's a Shibral who's only moved to Kozamauka a few years ago, but he has since mastered our customs and to an almost frightening degree. That's Trello. Here we go. Wook Evu. I'm just making sure I write down names that we have pronunciations for. Always glad to have nonsensical shit posting. But has since mastered our customs almost frightening degree. He's explicitly strict when it comes to manners. So to make sure to offer him a proper Hanu greeting, we wouldn't want to offend him right before asking a favor. A proper Hanu greeting? Oh, that... Don't worry, I remember how it goes. Then we shouldn't have any problems. Let's head to Okbek Bay, to the east of here. What was that what mount did they just ride on? Also look at this person with a blue-footed booby. All I know is that this game is chock full of boobies. Blue-footed boobies. While we're walking over here, let me open up, this was the other concept art that Laffy passed on female Emelja. This is also, yeah, Fishy Beans over on Twitter. That's very cool. I kind of want to see it now, honestly. Although I don't think we'll see any more blessed siblings going forward. Also, that's going to be interesting is that Bakul Jaja and somebody who's might be the last of his kind. Oh, it seems that they have a place here where visitors can stay. It looks cozy. Look over there. Do you see that big winding staircase? I think she means over there and not over here. Also, god damn it. Someone remind me to attune. This is Okbek Bay, the village of all. Okay, well, okay, Okbek Bay. Ooh, let me write that down. Okbek Bay. Thank you, V. To be honest, I've never seen female Hubigo soldiers in the Landsguard. Yeah, I don't think... Do we see any female Mamelja, Hubigo, or Bunyiwa in combat roles at all? As for Wook Ivu, he lives and works in the House of Waters, high at the top of the large tree nearby. Follow me. I should warn you, the climb upstairs can be challenging. Or Mamuk for that matter. Yeah, gonna go make a Miko alt named Tuna Tia and help him near the FC house as a constant. A Tuna Tia. Oh my god. Okay, that's actually a pretty good one. That one's pretty good, Des. That's pretty good. That's just called the House of. Yeah, okay. House of Waters High. We are hoping to enlist the man's aid, so it pays not to be rude in any case. Ohokali! I should mention that Wook Ivu isn't only a stickler for etiquette. He's also, well, you'll find out soon enough. I love Wook Ivu. Wook Ivu is the right amount of silly.
What do you want with me?
Right. The greeting. Ohokali!
Oh, Kali! Good. You brought your manners with you. When you know Kanu, do as the Hanu do. For a country as diverse as ours, the preservation of harmony demands that we respect the cultures of all peoples who call it home.
Well, that explains your familiarity with Hanu customs. And you speak truth, of course. To live together means to learn about each other.
Ah, I appreciate an open mind. In fact, I get the sense we've met before. You're Wook Lamont. Oh, what an unexpected honor for old Wook Evu. Here I am prattling on about manners, and I've gone and insulted the third promise herself. There is no excuse for this betrayal of etiquette. Please, take up your axe and claim my impudent head.
I will not. Keep your head. I hate formalities anyway, so forget about it, all right?
All right, then. Consider it forgotten.
How prompt.
We're actually here about the Ihihana float. It's in bad shape, and we need you to craft new carrying poles and a new eye. I'm told you work with Uyuipo wood and a certain kind of stone? Abokisha?
Okay, I need to write those down because those are voiced.
That I do. But while I would like nothing more than to offer my services, I just used the last I had of both those materials. My lumber in particular went to fixing homes damaged by the recent storm. I'll need 10 days or so to restock.
We can't wait that long. If you tell me where to go, I'll gather them myself.
What? Send the third promise out on an errand like some common lackey? That's utterly unconscionable. A gross violation of social protocol.
I told you not to worry about such things.
All right then. I shan't worry a whit.
God, I love this guy.
What's with your Hanu friend there?
I am festival leader this season, and have come along to oversee the float's repair.
He has much higher voice
As
sound effect.
strange as it may sound, Wuklamat and her friends believe the float is an arcane focus, meant to encourage the growth of our struggling reeds.
Too many Hanu have forgotten, it seems. But that is indeed the true purpose of the lifting of wings. Your education is impressive, Third Promise.
Well, maybe a little.
Allow me to show you where to procure Uyuipo. We can leave the Abokisha to your friends, I presume? Take yourself to Cave Kikitola or thereabouts, and you should find the stones you need.
So many.
I've been there once or twice. I can guide you.
That should save us some time.
All right then, let's get moving.
Man, maybe one of the first like major videos I want to put out after now that I'm back is actually that pronunciation guide video. Because I think we'll have enough words that I feel like I can come up with a pretty decent rule set.
Chosen one of your rivals is making progress.
Ihiana, you say? Should our first choice fail to deliver, it might be wise to let this play out. The third-rate promise is making herself useful after all.
Old guy related to a vessel up a long winding staircase who's a bit odd outside the main village. You need to talk to open the village. Oh yeah, the doll. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, his first news old man. He involved in the coffee side quest. Yeah. Okay. Here, I can pull. Should be able to pull that up. Yeah. Even having recently played FF9, I will not rely on you for the FF9 catches because you're. Yeah, Dolly's pretty early on. So the staircase that they're talking about is this staircase. There, you go to the top of here, and there's a guy in here and up here, and he's kind of like a. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. It is kind of similar to what's his name? Salvador Dal. Cape Kikitola is southwest of Okhanu. We can return to the village first, then head there on foot. Kikitola. Let me write that down. Keep pressing Trello. Cave. It is. Actually, you know what? I'm curious. Am I able to? Well, I'll go over there in a second. It is key. Laffy, what did you just send me? Wook Evu ASCII art? That is such a... Okay, you know what? I'll take it. That's... I'd love a pronunciation guide. Yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna... I've been wanting to make one, partly just because I'm frustrated with myself for not knowing how to pronounce them, and if I make a video, I will then know how, because in order to try to teach, I will have to learn how. So that's... I'm keeping... I have a new system called... there's a program called Joplin I'm using that I'm using to keep all my lore notes as we go along. Especially a game dev shitposting remembering too much about FF9, not puns. Well, I'm definitely relying on you to point out any FF9 stuff as we go. Even stuff me and you have already talked about for other people. I almost envy how effortlessly he can shift from one mood to its polar opposite. At least I presume he does so by choice. Southwest of here, was it? Let us be on our way. Oh, attune. Thank you, V. Welcome. If it's in need of alpaca, you need look no further. Before we get you settled up, I'll need your name and to our register. I'll make things smoother the next time you need a ride. I'm super curious if like you can. Thank you, V. Oh, there's a Laffy, there's a V, there's a Lil. Very good. I'm actually look up, how are we doing on quests? Quest Dawn Trail. Because I'm sure we're going much slower than I was expecting to go. Oh my god, is that a Colbury? Yeah, that's the fucking, ooh, that's an A rank, or whatever I dig dang C one, or maybe even an S rank. Okay, Kozumauka quest chain. We are on a well-mannered shipwright, so we're about halfway through. We're at 4:30. Jeez, you can't see right now, but like outside it is like pitch black dead of night. I thought it was like 5 or 6 or I thought it was like 6 or something. So yeah, we're doing perfectly fine. Yeah, so my focus will be trying to finish Kozumauka tonight before we stop. If we finish a little early, maybe we'll do a quest. We'll do a quest or two in Tuliolal. Cave Kikitola as promised, home to many deadly creatures. Venture inside if you feel confident, but I will conduct my own search out here. You can spot Ra Abokisha by its green-hued glimmer, bringing anything matching the description to me. I shall help scour inside of the cave then. You take the west half, I'll take the east. Abokish. The X is the sh sound, which we expected. My question is, does X change its sound based off of what if it's in front of a consonant or a vowel? Oh, hey, perfect. God, I love how flashy Viper is. I'm sure people at high end get very bored of how simple it is, but boy, is it just fun. Oh, care to share it, Laffy? Here I can also pull it up. On Tracker has good A rank for Dawn Trail. Ukacha. It's told that young Zeralja, seeking to hone his sword arm, caught a swift-winged Tukalbri and kept it in the palace as a sparring partner. He tried to knock it out of the sky with a wooden blade as it gyred and gambled around him. A cruel pastime, perhaps, but it made his reactions fast and his eyes keen. Had a similar effect on the Tukalbri, too. He got faster and stronger, that it might better evade and counter his strikes. One day it broke loose from its cage and flew away into the sky. Years later, when an enormous bloodthirsty Tukalbri began attacking travelers passing through Kozumauka, many and more thought back to the tale of the young prince and his pet, Ukacha. No one can say for sure if it's the same bird, but either way, the name stuck. And if it is Zeralja's Ukacha, well, that would explain why it's so angry. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Upon closer inspection, you find a glimmer you spied was just light reflecting off the water. Is anybody here not a fan of Viper? I mean, I assume that most of you either are a fan or have played it, but like, or do we have people who like don't like it for the same reason as Summoner? Because shiny pebble catches your eye, but its coloring is gray rather than green. Imagine if Gabranth used a Viper model with suit his swords. You know, it's always so interesting to me that people are so obsessed with Gabranth and some of the judges when they have like very little going on with them in 12. I mean, that's not true. They have stuff going on, but they like don't get a ton of development. I don't dislike Viper. I just won't play it. I just won't play it unironically. Is that a mountain zoo? Find a chunk of what? Oh. You got at least a minute. You find a chunk of stone glowing a distinct shade of green. This seems like an effect it could be a mineral Lali-ho was looking for. A well-mannered shipwright. What's up, Laffy? Oh. I can't see because of how much my bar shrinked, but Laffy just sent me a message that was the Wook Evu in ASCII art. Also, friendly reminder, we have an FC on Crystal Curl, and if you would like to join, we would love to have you, even if it's one of your alts, and also if you would consider transferring, you know, we can help you out. We also have a FC house. Some of the cave's inhabitants took umbrage at my presence, but it was nothing a few swishes of my brush couldn't handle. I picked over the ground near the entrance, but found nothing. You have better look inside the cave. Ra Abukisha. Yes, this is Abukisha. Along with Kra's contributions, we have more than enough for our needs. The stones you have brought shine very brightly. I thank you both. What does he? He would have been happy to know we were putting things right. Truth be told, a good friend of mine was meant to be the festival leader for this year's Ihihana. But when the big storm hit, he did not survive. It fell to me to carry on in his stead. That was why you agreed to Wuklamat's request, despite your initial reluctance. Yes, it hurts to hear, but she was right. Though I must mourn, I cannot let my grief consume me. I would point out to how... Look at every time grief and loss is posited to the people of Tulio Lal, and how they or the people of, well, Tural as a whole, but like Tulio Lal, the nation, people who are part of Tulio Lal, and juxtapose that to Solution 9, right? Juxtapose the people who can find a way through versus people who can't, just don't want to feel, and would rather just not feel, you know, not feel it, obliterate the pain, rather than process it. I think they mentioned something like that, or at least a random NPC does, AC. Her words made me realize that the path to my recovery, our recovery, is already laid out before me. I will walk it, for myself and my friend. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Please, rest assured that we've taken your plight to heart. I'm certain our companions are procuring the other materials as we speak. Everything will come together, and the Hanu shall host a splendid, uplifting festival. That we shall. With that, let us return and deliver the Abukisha into Wook Evu's waiting hands. The Gabranth is interesting. To my memory, he mostly gains notoriety in the community outside of 12. Interesting. In Dissidia, in DO12, where he's an insane character. Interesting. Wait, so what outside of 12 garnered him a lot of... Is there a version of him in... Other appearances. Final Fantasy 14, Dissidia, Theater Rhythm, Pictologic, Airborne, Arctic Breakthrough. No, okay. So it is just 12. Yeah, I like 12. There's a lot I love about 12. But, and like, don't get me wrong, the judges are cool. But like, it only feels like you get a third of their narrative. Like, a lot of their story feels like missing, which is kind of just a Matsuno in general thing, in my opinion. Gabranth is a secret character in DO12 where there's a huge amount of buzz around him because of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, but AC, to your point about the Abukisha, I'm pretty sure someone mentions it. I'm not the only one seeing this, right? No, it's even casting shadows. Okay, that's definitely not right. Okay, I'm submitting a bug report. I am on X22 Y13 on in Kozumauka. Loading geometry. Time. Oh, this is so handy that I can scale these things. Oh my god, this is so nice. Character name, Elio, Forgerant, Matter, NPC name, none, retainer name, none, monster name, none, Viper, Night 2, Solo, 9. Area coordinates 22.7. Y 13.3. The 0. Platform. Windows. In case you've never submitted a bug report, this is what it's like. Steps. Went to chord. Location. Looked up and saw jump. Nearby. So they pasted the bridge with the archway pulled off the top decorative bit that's floating and forgot to delete it before baking the map, which is why it has a shadow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you would know even better than I would, but yeah, that's the exact. But you can see, I bet you if you look, that's interesting. The others don't have the decorative top either, so it presumably didn't come from, oh, that's where it came from. It's this, I see what it is. It's this, it's what holds the lantern. This is supposed to be here. I bet you if we go to the other ones, yeah, you can see it. Yeah. Or maybe it's not because, no, because those are, the peg's out for there. Well, the peg's missing for there, so, huh. Okay, so it's not that, it should be here, but there's Weird. Anyways, they'll probably address it before too long. I don't even know where that piece is supposed to be. Well, if you look, you can see what it is. It's here. It's these. So this one's already... Whoa, dude, everything about this is borked. Look, it's missing... Everything about this thing is borked. It's missing this here. Like, if you look at the other guys, you can see that they all have a front facade. And then what I think it is it's this guy. See? Yeah, I don't know how that went. I don't know how this one went live. This is actually really borked. I'm sure by the time any of you guys check it out, whatever patch you're on, it'll be fixed. And it'll be fixed like the Z fighting issue in Solution 9. How I miss it dearly. Who else misses flying in the sky in Solution 9? For those who don't know, at launch in 7.0, there was a point where I'm pretty sure the planes were Z fighting. So if you jumped at the right angle and landed on them, they would force you up rather than down. And so you could shoot yourself into the sky in Solution 9 and basically just stay flying there. Bugs Trail. Battle on the Janky Bridge. Yeah, and HDB is amazing. It's funny because it reminds me of like a lot of the ways that you see similar things happen in like Dark Souls 1. Should allow for mounts. I think the only A cities will never allow for mounts. Only the B cities. Although no, Solution 9 is the B city. Huh. Yeah, maybe they should. That is funny. Yeah, because you got the A cities. Because Idleshire, Ralgar's Reach, Yulmore didn't. Razathan didn't. So they stopped doing that with Ralgar's Reach. Oh, interesting. And say respectfully, Dontrell needed one more clear pass to check for small mistakes. It's obviously never got, hence holes in the map and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I'd be curious what happened with the schedule that with QA not getting an extra pass. It's the first time I've ever noticed things like Dawn Endwalker. I remember there was one item, one map object in Ultima Thule that was missing its texture. Its textures on like day one, but other than that, Endwalker was pretty bugless in terms of a lot of what I remember. But I've seen a lot more like geometry stuff, and Lilith has pointed out some other geometry stuff to me too. Did they finish the thing in Heritage Found yet in the village? I hope Wulklamat's foray was as productive as ours. We just got back ourselves. Did you find the stone we needed? Thanks to the third promise and our mighty swings, we've collected some suitable logs of Uipo. What of the Abokisha? I didn't write down the spelling earlier. Uipo Abokisha. I don't know the natural location. Okay, cool. So I also got to figure out the difference between the different, like how much of a difference there is in the language. So for instance, like the Turali words, how much of a difference is there in pronunciation between the Turali words from Yogg-Tural and those groups versus like the Shitona? The big one, and Walker had more than people talked about. They fixed them pretty quick, yeah. The big one was the final area was something you couldn't actually see, but it raised the rendering load for the area by quite a bit more than it should have. It just optimized probably. Yeah, I guess I'm focused more on things that people are going to experience in specific, that like missing textures, but yeah. I never saw it in person, but I remember one rock in the back Black Shroud missing a texture sometime during Endwalker. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen like that level of like multiple things missing, things floating off, like that level of borked in a while. I don't know if I've ever really seen that level of borked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, these are excellent samples. A good quantity, too. At this stage, you'll likely surmise the lifting of the wings encourages the crops to grow. But not exactly how, eh? Well, you're in for a treat. If all goes to plan, the results should be spectacular. Now to get to work crafting these pieces for the float, I could use an assistant versed in the arcane arts to enhance the Uyupo's conductivity. Then I'd be delighted to help. Everyone else should head back to Okanu. We'll join you at the float once the work here is complete.
Ray, you around? Oh, I saw that glitch yesterday. I also put in reporting. Okay, cool. I missed that you go that. So it wasn't just me, Dest. Ray, if you're around, how much longer do you think I have in here? 2 hours? The one that really gets me is the tool set they use for the map work doesn't have a leak checker, or holes in the map would be literally impossible to miss. I find that one mystifying. Yeah, do you think it's just an issue with trying to actually create I am here. How long do you think I have left? Because it says middle, but you know, like sometimes the back half is way longer. I don't know how much, like, if maybe trying to to build that tool into their already existing tool set is difficult because of all the bullshit. But yeah, outdated tools would be my guess. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Because usually, I'd be surprised if a simpler or straightforward solution. There's only a half an hour of MSQs in the cutscene. Okay, so Kozumaku goes quick. The one thing I'm really glad I'm noticing a lot more some content creators, because I've started watching a little bit more content creators for 14. Again, the and also I'm just hearing from other people that everybody else is finally on the level I'm at, which is hey, you said that the PvP series rewards were going to come back. What gives? And everybody else is starting to get frustrated with that too, and that there wouldn't be FOMO. And I'm very glad about that. And it's making me feel better, because it's like, that is one of the few things that I've been very annoyed by, is I specifically felt good about the PvP series reward because it wasn't FOMO. Like, all they need to, literally, if they put in the armor, right? The Tyrant armor, whatever the frick it was, that one of the first PvP series rewards, right? Let's say that, or any of the mounts. And it's 20,000 crystals. So it's a huge amount of crystals. You have to play a lot. That's fine. I don't care if it's a lot of work. I just want to be able to do the work, you know? Near the reads in 2 YouTube videos, I think. Okay, interesting.
Gathering the Uyupo was a trial in and of itself. At first, Evu criticized everything I did. Then he suddenly yelled, "I've spoken ill of the third promise and must punish myself," and proceeded to slam his head into the Uyupo tree. I told him not to worry about it again, and it was like snuffing out a candle. He's an odd one, that's for sure. At least we've seen the poles in the new eye. We've seen to the poles in the new eye. Now we just have to wait for the feathers from the twins.
It's weird me being taller than Wukuma. When I played this the first time, I was on lens, so I was slightly shorter or the same height.
We should get some rest before the excitement begins.
Yeah. I'll do 20,000.
Over there by the float. Is that the third promise? Then the rumors are true. She is trying to complete the feat of reeds by reviving Ihihana. The festival is a prayer for healthy crops, but does she honestly believe that will be enough to save our harvest? The second promise, meanwhile, barely glanced at the field before leaving Okanu altogether. Maybe we ask too much of our young claimants. Oh, I wouldn't be too quick to count Kona out. A friend of mine overheard him muttering by the reeds, something about what needs to be done. Is that so? Perhaps we'll get to see another one of his innovations firsthand. That sounds like our Kona. One look at the reeds and was all he needed to think up a solution. Be that as it may, our own solution is nearly ready. Indeed, as soon as the others get back, our long-awaited festival can begin. It took some doing, but we managed to gather competitors to vie for the title of Winds Chosen. The winner was only too happy to donate his feather. You should have seen it. He called forth an incredible gust that sent his father sailing from Mons. We had to turn ourselves, but it was more difficult than it looks. Poor Anvil twirled in the air for a moment before landing on his foot. I am a gleaner. Magic is not part of our training. As for us, we brought the wood and gemstone replacements crafted by Ulk Evu. All that is left is to attach them. Has it been decided who will ride the float? Baba was the guest of honor the last time I was here. I remember being surprised that they could lift the thing with his hulking weight on top. The rider must be a personage of great esteem, which is why an invitation is usually extended to the Dawn Servant. This time, however, I have another in mind. Oh, who is it? Our beloved Ihihana, the lifting of wings only being held because of you and your companions. Thus, do I nominate you, Uklamat, as our guest of honor. Huh? Me? This boat won't make me seasick, will it? I don't think so. Then weigh anchor. I can hardly refuse a request from one even more enthusiastic about the festival than me. I would be delighted to ride your float. Thank you, Uklamat. I have roles for the rest of you as well. We'll be carrying the festival float in a slow procession towards Kozunauki, where the sacred likeness of Kishiahi is ensconced. What I'd like you to do is clear the path of dangerous wildlife so the procession can move along unimpeded. Consider it done. You expect me to sit still until Wook Evu finishes with the float? Let me come along and help with the clearing. As you know, I am not much for fighting. I'll stay behind and assist Wook Evu with the repairs. If you aren't sure where you're needed to go, the path I spoke begins at the south of the village and branches off to the east. That will lead you across the bridges to the stride of the sun. Then we shall see to the clearing it end to end. Minutes of cutscenes to go from the start of the ceremony. 5 minutes. Okay, well, we have tons of time. We're way ahead of schedule. I've only been going for 2 hours. Holy shit. Man, if I had planned this out better, I probably could have done Urkel Pacha at the same time. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're already 2 hours in. I want to only go for 4. I mean, it will because of C6 actually works, but we already know it will because, well, yeah. It is a bit odd. Yeah, it's just weird to me that like with the 10.1 stuff that they like specifically were like, hey, we're gonna do this, and just radio silence has been weird. But I think the fact that there's a lot of people, and particularly people who actually get to interview Yoshi regularly, like people like Mr. Happy, are pointing it out. I think it's gonna get addressed. Also, and no, I don't feel like any of us have been talking about this, but like, can we talk about how? Let me see if I can. This is amazing. This is beautiful, wonderful. It helps so much with the portrait nonsense, yeah. Weapons at the ready? We'll make short work of this task. For such a small thing, it helps big, yeah. If the float functions as I think it does, I would not be surprised if it were attracting the creatures. The concentration of aether would be irresistible as a lure. The degree to which Wook Evu pursues his interest is remarkable. Apparently his studies of the Kozumauka region were so invigorating, they decided to move here and immerse himself in the culture. As Linu Hanu said, Kozunauki should be down this way then. Down this way. Then off to the east where the path branches. Then something about a bridge and the stride of the sun? Anyway, let's split up and get to work. Once you've called all the threats you can find, we'll meet up in front of Kishiahi. Goodbye to driver's license profile. Oh, I'm sure some people will still have them, but I bet that will be a lot rarer. I'm dumbfounded that people aren't constantly hyping about the fact it's finally a game. Yeah, I don't know, man. But to me, 7.1 is such a good example of what I keep trying to tell people who are like kind of newer to the patch cycles, which is that this game, it constantly refines itself, and that like the quality of life is constantly ever increasing. Like with this patch, we obviously had the conjunction system of taking level 1 items and turning them into a single item, right, in the glamour dresser, or the portrait system being fixed, or any number of things. Mostly my own, because I've never updated mine. Well, now you have a reason to, because you only have to do it once. What I wouldn't give for Reaper's backup. Not that they should make Reaper and Viper even more similar. I'm glad that they've done quite a bit to make them less similar. The helm on the first one, Tyrant displays on Viera, but the helm on the second one doesn't. Really? That's weird. I told you I don't need to watch. You don't need to watch over me anymore. I'd be curious to see how their development process is going during Dawn Trail, because I feel like since they haven't been squashed since Pandemic, I would think it'd be slightly better. But I don't know if like the scale and scope ever increasing has caused some growing issues, or if they're also suffering from some teething issues because they're trying to grow the team, which means they have new people on who are maybe not as experienced. I would so be fascinated to know the inner workings of behind the scenes for creative business unit. I'm curious on the 8.0 Viper gear now. Dude, the 8.0 Viper gear will be stylish for sure. I think because it'll be whatever the theme of 8.0 is, but that variant of, like, heck, the Scholar Dawn Trail gear is stylish as all heck. Well, the Viper has no cooldowns, no reawakens like Reaper and Shroud, yeah. You're kind of just like always going like fluidly going boom, boom. But I like that, like, you have like Arcane with Reaper. I like that you have the Reaper as the dot you're keeping up, whereas they got rid of that with the Viper after launch 7.0. Educate, but still, I guess they have new members doing a lot of jobs and making a lot of small mistakes to cut their teeth so they can be part of dedicated teams of operation. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that is my gut reaction. Obviously, we don't know, but we know that they've been trying to hire more and get people, because the difficulty people don't realize is you can't just throw money at the problem all the time, because people need to know how to you need to hire people. They need to know how to work with the tools. They need to have experience like working with the rest of the team in a unified way. Like, there's all sorts of things that you can't just throw money at the problem to solve it. They also need to be able to speak Japanese and possibly English in a lot of cases is really beneficial. I just thought Reaper doing Grim Dance from Billy Mint. Oh no, I'm tempered. I love that they had already used Quetzalcoatl in Academia Niter, and so they're like, okay, can't do that. Although they do allude to the fact that it is inspired by the same thing. Ah, you are a step ahead of us. This must be the likeness of Kishiahi, the Hanu deity of the harvest. Give me a second, I need to write down Kishiahi. Oh, it's funny. I think, isn't there a third option? I may have forgotten to do academia on Elio. To be honest, I was half expecting a flying whale. Oh, whale? Why a whale of all things? Anyways, it's said that Kishi-ahi here was worshipped on another continent. This ancient faith was then brought to the Tural by the first Hanu. The Hanu migrated here from another continent, then mayhap the two do share a common ancestor. This is all very fascinating, but shouldn't we be getting back to the Linu Hanu? He'll want to know the path is safe for the procession. Right, I need a ride on the float. I'll run ahead and tell him we're done here. Meanwhile, in Okanu.
Not sure we heard you right, old man. Why don't you say that again?
As many times as you'd like. The third promise tasked me with repairing this float, and I'll not relinquish it to an uncultured brute like you. Much less one that can't even manage a simple greeting.
We wanted to handle this in a civilized way, but we're more than willing to kill you.
We have a two-headed problem. Yes, please hurry. She's on her way back already?
Stand back, Wukevu! I will protect the float!
Are you trying to be brave, little bird?
I could never have repaired the float alone. Not properly. But thanks to Wuklamat and her friends, we can hold Ihihana again! This is a priceless treasure! And as festival leader, I would die to protect it!
Very well, if that's what you want.
Who need more lessons? We'll carve them into your mangy hide until you cry and beg forgiveness.
I had a slight PC overheating issue. It should be fixed now.
Your brilliant plan was to steal the float and take the credit. The so-called blessed siblings are nothing but cheats.
Your scorn is sweet music. Come, weaklings. We'll crush you each in turn. Or all together, if you'd like. Calm yourself, Chosen One. If you fight in earnest, this will end in a massacre.
Have a good one, Deathberry.
What's more, we have word that our other prospect is on the verge of success.
Then it would be foolish to expend effort sweating nuts.
Lucky for you. Eh?
I appreciate Bukul Judge more. I just wish there was a little bit more of a crack in the facade earlier.
Ugh, two heads. I see Mamuk still clings to that loathsome hope.
That resonates more. That line definitely means more a second time.
Talk to us, third promise. You're not dying, are you?
It'll take more than that to kill me. So, are we having this festival or not?
Yes! Yes, we are!
No. What I wasn't anticipating is apparently like the cutscenes like hit my graphics card weirdly hard. One of the things I need to do is currently I've been playing at, I need to play at a locked 60. Shouldn't be much different for you guys. Why is it that when I click, okay, can anyone explain this to me? Why is it when I choose lock 60 frame rate, it goes to 56? Like, I know my computer can handle well above that. It's like, obviously I can, you know, main display rate, I can set it up to whatever I want. Okay, I'm gonna give my computer a real quick second to take it easy while I respond to you guys. Yeah, just throwing people at the problem is not an easy fix. For my job, it was a runaway of 6 months before a new person can really start working on our queues, yeah. Learning to work on 14 is pretty complicated on a technical level. The game uses outdated and kind of odd tools. A bunch of the way they actually do things on a technical level is very non-standard and specific to 14, yeah. It's not even like you need specific skills that are not even transferable from somewhere else because like no one else. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of like model flickering too since this patch. Like if you watch up here in the top left corner, watch the gates or the yeah, we can actually hear you running through the mic just barely. Yeah, that's actually less that you're hearing it because it's running hot. It's because I just I turned it on full blast for its fan speed. In fact, I will fix that real quick. I'll just turn it down, its fan down a little bit. Let me know if you can still hear it. But cool Judge, I ain't no Xenos. Yeah, we probably kick his ass. Was doing treasure maps with a friend playing Viper the other day, and I thought the blue effect was a portal showing up. Oh. Yeah, allocating the full time of the person to at least train so that it has an impact. I've heard some people say online that they think the Blessing of Light is gone because Hydaelyn is gone. That shouldn't be the case, but so far there hasn't been any real use for it since Endwalker. The Echo definitely isn't. The Blessing of Light is ambiguous. There's some... the Blessing of Light and its protection probably still lingers, but you know, because it's a charm that effectively can be reinforced by her, but is you know, powerful unto itself. I'm trying to remember. I have a note somewhere that tells me about someone mentions Blessing of Light, but I can't remember which way it states on that. I like how Wook Evo is calm and has no patience for Bakul Jaja. Yeah, manner maketh the man. Yeah, Kingsman's a great movie. Buffering like crazy. Buffering edge, gotta get going. How much trouble to be in? If it's designed to be a fair fight or designed to be a you lose no matter what fight per video game shenanigans. Yeah, I can actually hear your GPU. Yeah, the flickering thing is some kind of conflict with the LOD bias, I believe. I haven't tracked specifically, but that's what it looks like. That would make sense because of the range of where it's getting affected. So here's the question: do you think that could ever be that could be implication that there might be trying to fix the level of detail range, because in this game it's pretty shallow. Okay, I'm down to 116 degrees. I should be good to go. Given the nature of the rites of succession, I expect such altercations are inevitable. Let me know if you can still hear my fan. I'm thankful we made it back before anyone was seriously injured. He waited for us to leave so he could steal a float, a coward, and a thief. I'm glad we kept the float out of Bakul Jaja's clutches, but gods, he brushed me aside like I was a bothersome gnat. A tense encounter. I'm thankful Alfino thought to share those link pearls. I've learned one thing in my life, and that is that poor manners often betray poor character. Thank you for coming to our rescue. I tried to protect the float, but against the two heads, I may as well have not been there at all. Nonsense. You stood your ground and brought us the time we needed to make it back. You were incredibly brave. Luna, good to glad to have you. Blessing of Light is still going because we were fine in the 13th without the warding scale protection. Thank you so much. That's what it was. I think that's what the line I'm thinking about in specific, Luna.
Also, Lou, we missed you at the book club last time when we were talking about 7.1. However, we will be talking about 7.1 again this coming week, partly because we have Voltaire's brother will be coming in, who's a very major, huge 11 player, to talk about some of that stuff. And we will, in Lore Book Club, which we have every week on Friday, we may be talking about 7.1 content, frankly, for the next 2 weeks, this coming week and the next. I think they're trying to get all up to 3 stages of level of detail with a clean transition. It is a feature on the new rendering system, but they have been using it. Well, that's exciting because I cannot stand the shortness of the LOD. With that exciting interlude over, you'll be pleased to know that my repairs are finished as well. Before we commence the festival, however, it would be a courtesy to inform the villagers that Ihihana would be held after all. Go forth, but do not forget your greetings. At this stage, I should hope the reminder is unnecessary. Oh, Kali! See? I remember. Hydaelyn magic has not shown signs of fading away after death, so I'm not inclined to think the blessing is gone. Echo. I mean, I think Luna's evidence is the strongest in this case. The echo is permanent, though. Yeah, the echo is inherent to us. There's a Lil. The echo is inherent to us. Like, you can't... Hydaelyn's passing has no effect on... Oh, hey, there's a Dest. Has no affecting on the... and a Laffy. Man, look at all you guys hanging out here. Oh, actually, hey, Des, can you pull out the wings real quick? I think Des or someone was curious about the wings. It doesn't matter what any of them. So yeah, see, this is the Everkeep wings. Thank you very much. And when you fly up, they like get crazier. Thank you. Now, Lil, when you say it's a feature that is in there, do you mean that, like, would that be it's just that's going to create a more naturalistic fade between the distances, or is it that it will actually allow for a further rendering distance if someone wanted it? So much has been taken from us. Why even try? Oh, Kali! Oh, Kali! What? The float is fixed! Our fallen friends would be glad to know that Ihihana will be soon underway. They would have wanted us to honor them with celebration, not let their loss deter us from it. Again! This is not just like a, oh, fun part for the story, oh, isn't this cool? This is relevant for the second half of the story. The first half is deeply tied into the back half. Also, congrats, Des. I must go enjoy the festival for those who no longer can. I must go enjoy the festival for those who no longer can. I thought Google was some. That's funny. Or 8.0 will be the mounts? Who knows? Anything's possible. I still like it. I would love if it was like a frog. That'd be rad. Just like frogs or snails or something weird. There's nothing to look forward to anymore. Oh, Kali! The festival is about to begin. What do you expect me to say? Besides, of course I'll be there. Cleaning up the storm's aftermath may have been hard on us all, but the lifting of the wings is tradition, and a joyous one at that. I won't sit here brooding my days away. Give me a moment to get ready. We need to pick a night for EX3 Rock. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that. Maybe we should do a different night than mount farming. Because I hear from Des apparently EX3 is, while good, has some Zeromus type mechanics where they are easy for some, but also maybe the sort of things that people struggle with. Ugh, Ihihana, life feels so empty. Oh, Kali! Thank you for letting me know. I would very much like to attend the festival. The repairs should be finished as soon as possible. What to do, what to do. We'll be sitting in the kangaroo's pouch. Yeah, if it's Marasidia, kangaroos. Yeah. I mean, we'll get a kangaroo mount if there is if we go to Marasidia, right? Like, that's just not even in question. I'd put it on the equivalent of Savage Fire. So you'd say it's the same as M1S? Would you say it's the same difficulty? Personally, I think EX31 is easier than the Zeromus one to grasp. Okay. Look, I don't... All I know is people struggled with meteors, and I didn't relate enough to understand why. So I can't say whether or not this is. The Hanu were pleased to hear the festival was going ahead, I imagine. Very much so. This is well. Once your friend returns, the lifting wings can begin at last. Ice Prague and bridges. Okay. I love this music so much.
So few have come.
Patience. Once Ihihana gets underway, no Hanu will be able to resist joining in.
I had to make sure there wasn't a cat sitting on my PC.
Just so. Ukewu knows well the heart of the Hanu.
She loves sitting on the warm heat vent, which prevents airflow.
Have faith, third promise, and climb aboard the float. It is time for the lifting of wings.
Right. Off we go.
Just wait till 7.3 AC. Just wait till 7.3.
Ihihana is a prayer for bountiful harvest. But this is not its only meaning. It is also an exchange of pledges between rider and bearers, a commitment to a long and fruitful friendship.
Listen well, friends! The personage we bear today is Wuklamat, the savior of our beloved festival! Let your shoulders burn, or your feathers fall out, but do not even think of dropping her! Ready and...
She is V's cat. Her name is Keone. And she's very adorable. However, she's not super, like, people-y, other than with, like, V. So I don't think you'll probably end up seeing her because she probably is. It's not like I could pick her up or have her camera. However, I may be getting a kitten sometime in the next couple months.
Will empty bellies stop
Thanks,
you
Lil.
from joining in the fun? Come and help us carry the float!
Well. To see the day that Dawn's promise would ride our boat again. We've not had the honor since you were here, Gulul Jaja.
I love how fucking...
Right, we've enough bearers now. Onwards to Kozanuaki!
Kozanuaki, okay.
Watch well, for you are about to bear witness to the true glory of Ihihana. The float draws upon our life force, concentrating and amplifying the energy. Kishai, He then receives that energy and expels it in a great burst, where it showers down upon the land to replenish its vital currents.
Laser chicken! It's a beautiful moment, but also, I can't be the only one thinking it. Rad.
It worked.
Like a literal charm.
The float really was helping the reeds.
Jane, good to go, what have you.
That was amazing! To think that such a thing was even possible!
All hail laser chicken. I told you didn't die. Spectacular.
Even deprived of the usual sustenance, the Hanu seemed invigorated the moment the festival began. Ihihana truly is magical. I wasn't sure what to expect, but the festival was admittedly impressive. With their fields rejuvenated, the Hanu too might finally replenish their flagging reserves of Aether. I'd like to take a turn riding the float. What? It looked like fun. Don't pretend the thought didn't cross your mind. I was too quick to dismiss the idea of the float. The float had arcane properties. I think I wanted to believe that no one knew more about Ihihana than me. As it turns out, there are many things I have yet to learn. Should I have left the float behind like that? I was so excited to see the reeds.
Nothing to worry yourself over. My brethren have been swept up by festival fever, last I saw. They were taking turns at the carrying poles on the way back to the village. Please, feel free to look over the fields and enjoy the sight of what you've accomplished. Yeah, the smile light motif is everywhere. I mean, the Dawn Trail motif and the smile motif are everywhere. Like, this is the smile motif right now.
Bum ba da dum. Bum ba bum 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 bum.
Some of them still look a bit sickly.
I imagine even the harvest magic has its limits. If the Hanu continue their festival tradition year after year, though, the entire field should eventually recover.
Where does that leave us with the feet, then?
You've got nothing to fear on that account. Our situation could never have resolved itself. The revival of even a single reed would have served to demonstrate your commitment to the task. That you recognized the nature of the float and found a near-perfect solution in Ihihana proves your dedication. What's more, I don't think I've seen the festival produce such impressive results since I was a mere chirper. We have been lax in maintaining the float, diluting its magic and reducing Ihihana to hollow theater. But today's events remind us of the power in tradition.
Kona!
I was delayed by an unpleasant encounter, but it seems I arrived at a good time.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
What? You just pour in some mystery liquid and problem solved?
Stagnant ether was to blame for the reed's poor condition. I assumed that was an alchemical concoction which enhances ethereal conductivity. It utilized the flowing water as an ethereal current, thereby promoting the transfer of life energies.
A method I could not have devised without the education I received at the studium and the cooperation of my archon allies.
Archon allies?
You see, Lamachi, this is why we need to embrace foreign knowledge and technology. Employed appropriately, they make light work of what would otherwise be arduous labor. There's no need to lug around heavy floats.
Fundamentally misunderstands.
Well, you always were the clever one, brother.
Your approach was no less effective, Wuklamat. It achieved the same result.
And inspired the people.
Indeed it did. And you enjoyed the festival, yes?
I did. It was so much fun. Having visited your village before, I thought I knew everything about it. As it turns out, I knew very little. About the reeds, about Ihihana. With all I've learned this time, I feel as though I've really come to know the Hanu. I like you even more now than I did before.
I think we need to put more value on just goodness.
The feeling is mutual. And it's not just you who had a lot to learn either. I'll never look at our float the same way again.
The two of you have exceeded expectations. Come forth and claim your stones.
Orno's not wrong about stepping into the future, but he is wrong about thinking you have to
So
sacrifice the past to
this is
do
what
so.
they look like.
Go on, set it in the tablet.
Wait, why was that rotated?
A perfect fit. That leaves 6 more.
And on to the next.
Not even a moment of celebration. That's Kona for you.
The third promise? You must join us for Ihihana next season. As Dawn Servant, of course.
Right. It's back to Tulihiola for now. Thank you for having us. I look forward to seeing you all again.
These are interesting times indeed.
Man, I like Dawn Crow.
The concoction was brewed by Kona himself. It's a test vial, but it should contain the same reagents.
Good work. We'll use whatever we must to win. For win we must.
Ooh, I actually like that line. Ooh, okay. This is actually that vocal performance and that conversation with those guys, that was a little bit less of the facade, a little bit more of the the desperation. So it is present. It is present, the desperation for victory. You know, it's just like, I will win because I'm the best. It's like, it's specifically good work. We'll use whatever we must to win for when we must, right? That's very different than good work. I'm the best and we'll win no matter what because they're all inferior bugs, right? Like, very different.
While Kona seems a decent sort, he strikes me as a man who likes to keep others at a distance. Where has Bakul Jaja gone, I wonder? And what did his followers mean by their other prospect? I'm curious as to who these archons the second promise mentioned could possibly be. Two heads of trouble aside, Wuklamat completed the feat and earned a keystone. That's all that matters. My journey has started and already, and I've met so many wonderful people. Wuk Evu, for one. He's a bit eccentric, but everyone could stand to be as respectful of others' cultures as he is. And Linuhanu, it warmed my heart to see him honor his departed friend through Ikihana, and to help others to do the same. I can't help but feel excited thinking who else I might meet over the course of our contest. Come on, let's head back to Jabalia of Tai. I'm not. Until I hear that one out loud, I'm not gonna get it. Okay, since we've got a second, before we go do that, I want to see if I can go platoon at the outpost. One of you guys check this for me, but can I get a triple check? So the Aetherite that is the one where the Namazu is. Was that Aetherite existent before the patch? Like was it on the map before the patch it came out? Or was the ruins there, but the symbol was only there once the patch came out? Kind of like what they're doing with the Simono. Because I'm trying to think, is there any precedence for a creation of an Aetherite? Oh man, so yeah, the LOD is acting weird. Okay, enable detail models. Yeah, no, okay. That's partly why I usually have this turned off. No, I don't want to use low detail models, just use high. And then where's the... God, their depth of field works so poorly. Krau's line there basically also functions as a joke. I'll point out, Kona keeps people at a distance. He's a machinist, a range shot. Fair point, fair point. Uyupoga. Not sure about the ruined building, but the Aetherite wasn't there before 4.3. Okay, so there is precedence. I love that they literally just copied Rin's travel agency, which again, the Pelu Pelu are from 10.2, and technically I think Tobli, or at least a version of him, is in 10. But like, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, I saw art for this, and I immediately recognized, like, wait, that's Rin's travel agency from Final Fantasy X. It's so interesting to me how, like, there's a couple of 10 things here. Obviously, we had Anima and Endwalker. I'm like, I don't know if it's that they don't, like, know or think they, like, want to fully adapt 10, and so they're kind of just sprinkling stuff throughout, which is fine to me. But what I wouldn't give for some, like, 10 inspired, more 10 inspired stuff. I'm sad because, like, the Yakta El Forest is great. It's really lovely, and Makalani is one of my favorite places in Final Fantasy X. But because it doesn't have like that glassy effect and surrealness that the 10 version has, I actually like the Mamuk Forest a lot less, which makes me sad. There's not the specific element that I love about it. Playing host to a never-ending stream of customers, the largest marketplace in Tuliolal is replete with goods from every corner of Tural. Its proximity to the harbor ensures that cargo unloaded from the boats and barges can be transported directly to the shelves of local merchants. The Bayside Bevy. Oh yeah, 14-7 the field is hilarious, by which I mean horrible, and does physic damage to me if I think about it. Why is it so bad, Lilm? Do you have any idea? With the Pelu Social Society quest, I know for a fact that building weren't here at launch.
Yes, I know for sure that that these buildings weren't where that area was completely void. Yeah. Still banking on 10 being 8.0 at least for a moment until we get otherwise. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff from 10 that would make sense if they used it for aspects of it from Air City and the like. Oh, so you're just assuming, Laffy. Okay. See, I'm not asking about assumption. I'm not assuming it. I'm trying to figure out for sure if it is the same in how it's done in Dawn Trail and how it's done in Stormblood. Like it's not I want like specific facts on that. Like I should pull up a version of like the map of the step from like 4.0 release. That's probably what I'll do. And just like that, we found an elector and won our first key. I knew I was right to trust your instincts. Come on, let's keep things moving and march onwards to Urkelpacha. Chances are good we'll find an elector there as well. Before we do anything, however, we should see what your opportunistic Capellu friend has to say. Okay. We've only been going 3 hours. Let's go do these quests, because I don't want to start the Urkelpacha bit until tomorrow. We got Culinary Import, Corn of Necessity, and how far he'll go. Oh, sweet. Yeah, nice, Ray Ray. Yeah, I have some footage of it before 7.1, so like I know for this it's more Stormblood that I really want to see. Yeah, I wasn't there yet. You were on the ship that pulled into port just now, were you not? I have a favor to ask. I'm expecting a shipment addressed to Aunt T's Tacos, but I fear it may have been unloaded on the southern pier by mistake. I'd be ever so grateful if you could speak with the crew for me. I need to be getting back to open the shop, but if you do manage to find it, please bring it over. I'll see that you're paid for the delivery, I promise. Oh, wait, you can start the core quest already. Okay. Sweet, let's get this started. Okay, guys, what kind of voice are we giving the corn? Are we doing this or so? Yeah, something like that. That'd be fun. Rustle, rustle. The rustling of this corn sounds not unlike a dejected sigh, and you could swear it's looking out at the ocean. Oh, woe is me. What's the matter? You alright? No. You can see me? Yeah?
Oh, blessed be! For countless ages have I watched over these lands when man's first tilled her soil. I was there. When they partook of her bounty, I was there. As silent guardian of the harvest, my presence unmistakable. Yet the passage of time would bring change to the people. They begin to forget their old ways. Forget me. I traveled the lands hither and yon, yet no matter where I went, I remained unseen and unheard. I feared before long I might shock this nigh immortal card. Yet here at the last I have found a kindly soul, able and willing to lend me an ear. But will he lend me a hand as well, I wonder? I wish to help the people of Tyrell, fill their hearts and bellies both, lest their hunger invites terrible misfortune. All that are born into this world are deserving of happiness, would you not agree? So let them eat, I say! Eat corn and be merry! Alas, I cannot reach them in my diminished state. But you can, and so I shall bequeath unto you the most delectable corn dishes, which are then to be distributed to the masses. What say you?
Seems up my alley.
Oh, such selflessness, such compassion! How long has it been since the last I met a soul so grossly incandescent? I am but a humble stock, basking in the warmth of your generous heart. Well, my friend, let us be off!
Kira's corn splitter has elected to be referred to as the corn servant. Speak with them again when you are ready to spread corn and happiness to the masses. I love him.
Good, good. How long has it been since last mankind has partaken of my corn? I can hardly wait. The hungry bellies of Tyrell cry out for satiation. Let us sally forth, what ho!
Look at him go! Oh, what am I to do now? I'm like to starve at this rate.
His belly, it speaks to me. I bid you offer him this grilled corn, seared to perfection with the hope that yet burns in my corny bosom.
Is that grilled corn? For me? That's awfully kind of you. I'm new to Tulialal, and it's been pretty harder since I lost my job. Been so hungry lately I can barely think straight, but the smell of this corn with its smoky sweet aroma has brightened my day. I can hardly wait to eat it. Feels like maybe my luck is... What the frick? Sorry, give me a second. What the frick is going on now? The reshade thing I installed hit it? This is why I don't use tools anymore. Okay. That's turned off, that's turned off. Dude, I just wanted to take pictures of my character, but it's so hard without a green screen. Like, I should probably just build a green screen in the house. I like your glam, Leffy. Thanks, I made it so it works at 80. I'll have to see it. Concordia. Oh. So let me show you guys while we wait. This is Keone. This is V's cat. And she's currently sitting apparently on V's computer. And she's very nice, but she's also a little bit she's very nice. She's also very much like a cat. Oh, that's interesting. The text box now shrank again. She is a cat, yes, very much so. Feels like maybe my leg's starting to turn around. Thank you, I won't forget this. Boom. Okay, cool. At least that happened right at the end there. Let's go, Cornholio. I am Cornholio. I pee-pee from my bunghole. No, because this room is all to me. V's office is over across the other part of the house.
Perhaps I'll simply skip lunch today. A belly and heart both in dire need of nourishment? Here I'll take of my carb, that its earthly scent and savory flavors offer her comfort.
That's what he said. Grilled corn. My husband loved grilled corn. Life simply isn't the same without him. One moment I think I'm fine, then suddenly I find myself brought to tears. Even eating has been a struggle. But I know he wouldn't want me to mourn him. Thank you for this. I'll try to do better, for his sake and mine. Oh, interesting, Lone. Interesting.
Shop splits must be tidy before box orders arrive. Which to choose? Which to choose?
I am so hungry, but I have no money. May the gods forgive me for what I am about to do.
Do you hear that, friend? His belly weeps for hunger. Pray, offer him this corn. Let its smoky sweetness give him comfort and deliver him from foul temptation.
Ooh, this is grilled corn for me. Truly, my stomach has been in knots for days. Thank you. It shames me to admit it, but I tried my hand at gambling and lost everything. I was so desperate for food. I was tempted to do terrible, terrible things. This corn has filled my aching stomach and helped to clear my head. No, what a fool I have been. It's time I start over and get my life together.
Oh, the rumbling of bellies in need has ceased. Come, let us find a quiet place to speak.
Oh my god, how did I never just like inadvertently right click on all these things? Like that's what I can't understand. I like the tone of the court servant quest takes with food. Yeah, I actually haven't done it all on Lens, so you guys are going to see as we go through it. I'll probably do it as we go through the MSQ. You'll be seeing me do it. Because I definitely want to do, I think we should be doing the average, since we started 3, we'll do 4 hours at least, I think, each day. If we end a little, if we get through the MSQ part a little early, unless it's like something where it's like really dramatic and I want to end, I'll try to do some of the quests as we go. Or at least some of the interesting quests.
All glad am I to have helped the people of Tulialal. Indeed, my kernels swelled with joy at the sight of their happy and content faces. And you, friend, your kindness cannot go unrewarded. Meet me at the gate over yonder, and I will see you duly compensated for your troubles. What ho!
I like how much that theme can be used as both like kind of either a sad theme or a like content theme. Like it is both. It has a certain amount of like sadness to it, but also a certain amount of like peace. I'm all. And you got any good corn puns? I'm all ears if they do. Well played.
There you are. I hope our little excursion was as fulfilling for you as it was for me. It is a terrible thing to be hungry. Unattended bellies are quick to fill themselves with pain and anguish, feelings that will lead to the hearts astray.
Almost like the corn is making the point that don't make desperate people desperate. Desperate people do dumb things. Don't make people desperate. It's not good for any of us. It's good if you want to control people.
Thanks to you, my corn has sated the hunger that would otherwise invite misery to this place. From the bottom of my cob, I thank you. Pray, take off my corn. May these kernels keep your belly full, and spirits lifted. What ho! Now I really must be going. While the people to the island may be content, there are other hungry souls out there in need of nourishment. Until we meet again!
Everyone knows a good joke is a kernel of truth. Ah, shucks. I don't know any. Desperate, hungry people feel backed into a corner. Oh, you guys got me. You guys got me good. Many multitudes of Mamaja. Wind and rain. Wait, is it only 6? That means it's only been 3 hours? Holy moly. I mean, you either gotta slow down or like, I mean, I guess what were options, right? The problem is that it's long enough that this wasn't gonna be both, you know, Kozumauka and Urkopacha in one go. But also, holy moly. How do I get up there? Frenchner, 3 hours later. Oh, that was a weird. 3 hours later. These first 2 zones are very short. Yak to L will definitely be 4 hours. Yak to L will be quite a length. honestly, it's kind of nice. It gets you into it real quick. Uvalja. I wonder if he has a vacuum cleaner. Hey, you're not busy, are you? Earlier, we got a word that a shipment of parts has come in, so I sent my trainee to fetch them, but he's still not back yet. Could I trouble you to pay a visit to the junk monger in Bayside Bevy, and after the young Hatsaru has been by? I'm in the middle of something here. I'm in the middle of something here. Okay, now I kind of want, like, New Jersey Mamelja. It's like, hey, Warrior Light, I'm walking here. I guess that's New Jersey, but like, I'm walking here. I'm John here, man. What do you want from me? They call me Mammal. Mammal John. I'll stop. Bum ba-dum. I like Shadowbringers in that respect. The first two zones are kind of one zone split in half, roughly. I mean, to be fair, that's even... I mean, that it's still true in how Endwalker is structured. I guess it feels a little less so because of the way in which Thavnir and Labyrinthos feel like they're dealing with two different things. But I mean, it's still technically structured in the same way that you have to do both before you do the dungeon. But yeah, it is closer in Shadowbringers, where it's because it's, you know, new world that you're exploring. New world. It's the new world that you're exploring. But it's, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Heaven's Word does it too. It's really only Stormblood that doesn't, kind of. And even then, you still have the peaks and the fringes. Like, you can still technically, it's still broken up. It's just not as, it doesn't feel as discernibly so. But you do like the Sea of Clouds and Lukurthus Western Highland. Diligent Deckhand. I definitely read that as Diligent Dickhead. A shipment for Aunties. Got it right here, of course. Not sure what you were told, but all imports from Eorzean are unloaded on this side. Culinarians make some great tacos, but I'll be damned if you can pay attention to half the words I'm saying to him. His order packed up and ready in the crate here, but bugger me if it ain't heavy. Mammal Jaw, it's a lupin in a mammal. It's a lupin. Oh. Mammal Jaw. It's a lupin and Mamukian clothing. Okay. That one took me a second. Yeah, we'll start wrapping up probably before too long here. I think I might like do that last quest up there. I might go check the Kozumaoka quest and at least start it. If there's You found it, thank the gods. I don't know what I would have done had my cookbooks been left on the dock back in Limsa Lominsa. What luck that I could flag down such a hospitable deckhand. What? Wait, what do you mean you're not part of the crew? I thought you came into import with my books. Our taco stand gets a lot of tourists, so I thought I'd import some cookbooks from your culinary capital and brush up on my foreign food culture. Who knows? One of these days I might just invent an Eorzean style taco. Okay. Cookbook Volume 2 when, Yoshi P? It's in your corner. Anyways, my apologies for the misunderstanding. As payments, take these freshly made tacos on the house. AC, do you have the flying carpet mount and the donut earring? It's a whole new world. Meanwhile, my wallet weeps. Well, I promise that if a Eorzean cookbook, if a Final Fantasy XIV cookbook Volume 2 comes out, I will have another cooking stream. I actually found some cumin on the door from the old place that I did that cooking stream for. Honestly, also doing a cooking stream here would work a lot better than that. The fact that I pulled off that cooking stream is honestly impressive. Oh, the trainer mechanic from the dirigible landing. No, I'm afraid I have not seen him today. Might be as he took the scenic route, as he is often wont to do. Seeing as you're looking for him, you may as well take the delivery along with you. Knowing Huval Jah, he won't be satisfied until both are brought to him. As for where his young charge might be, I often see him on the pier at the high tide harbor, gazing out at the sea like it's not. You'll find him there now.
Yes. Let us begin. Tambo, let me read the book. Let me read the book.
No, you're too stupid.
Well, in that case, I'm too stupid for the book. Too stupid for the book. Can't even have a book.
Look, if you want to hear the origins of my Gabi voice, just go look up a Cactar and Tomberry Guild Quest or Cactar and Tomberry Final Fantasy Cactar and Tomberry Final Fantasy Fugitive. It's one of those. The Far East is something similar to a taco, beigeo, and its recipe list for the culinarian.
Awesome, trends. Tell! Oh, sorry, I was lost in thought. How can I help you?
Here are your parts.
My mentor sent you to find me, and you brought the parts we ordered? You well and truly caught me slacking. Not to judge at a glance, but you're not from around here, are you? Would you happen to know anything about dirigibles? Somewhat versed, perhaps. You at least know what they are and what they do, I take it. I understand your part of the world prefers airships, but in Tyrol, the dirigible's king. I only just started my apprenticeship, but my dream is to one day cross the sea in a balloon of my own making. Naturally, my first destination will be Old Charlian, where the great Kona learns so much of what he knows. What a journey it would be. God, there I go again. The moment my thoughts turn to daydreams, I find myself here at the harbor. But that's enough time wasted. Better take these parts back to the dirigible landing.
Actually, V or Ray Ray or, well, I assume those are probably the only two people modding. Can you guys link, if one of you guys could find Final Fantasy Guild Quest or Final Fantasy Fugitive and link it? You know, I guess I probably could, I'll probably do it because I know what I'm looking for. No, not Final Fantasy 14. Okay, yeah. So a warning, this is like 15 years old. This is like old, like, like funny junk and albino. Like, this is like albino black. So this is like old, like early Flash animation stuff, but. You want to know where my deep and profound abiding love for Cactars came from, you gotta watch that series. I warn you, it's very dumb. I wonder if the response you can give for that quest changes if you've done the Ixali quest. Oh, if it does if you've done the Ixali quest? Oh, dang, it sucks that I haven't finished that on Elio yet.
One of Uklamat's companions. Say, could I trouble you to go and fetch someone for me? It's time for my patrol, and my partner is nowhere to be seen. I'd handle it myself, but I could have missed his arrival were I to leave my post. Knowing him, he's lost in conversation somewhere in Bright Bloom Post. Just look for a Buniwa with the big eyes and dark blue scales. When you find him, tell him his partner is waiting for him.
I mean, you do know something about dirigibles, true. V or Ray Ray, are either of you around? If so, you want to start doing the wind down postals?
Patrol, friend, I don't know who you've mistaken me for, but I just finished my shift.
Dude, he's a Dopro. Why are you confusing him for a...
Do I look like some moon-eyed Buniwa to you? Clearly I'm a Dopro. Thank you!
Oh, I didn't see there were multiple options. What's it? Hubigo. Okay, actually, I'm really curious how they call you out.
No, I do not believe I have any work scheduled today. Mayhap you've mixed me up with someone else. No, I am a Hubigo. Buniwa don't have long combs like ours. You see, they are more commonly identified by the hue of their scales.
If you enjoy the stream and aren't a member of our Discord, why not come join us at discord.gg/stories and archives. We'll be doing an alliance raid later tonight. We have maps on Thursdays. We've got Lore Book Club on Fridays. We've got Mount Farming on Saturdays. We have all sorts of events that you're more than welcome to join and have a good time with. Want to know the background on a seasonal event or two? We've got you covered over on Final Fantasy XIV Archive, where Ray Ray does a lovely work creating archived versions of all of the information or all the cutscenes in the game, as well as gameplay for the different quests and story MSQ, and it is a very useful thing for the player base, whether they like it or not. I just thought his name said Lalafelja, but Lafalja.
Oh, patrol partner. Yes, I am the one he is looking for. I don't know why he is always so needlessly punctual, but there are in fact still a few minutes before our shift. Then again, patience has never been his strong suit. In any case, thank you for letting me know. I suppose I'll head over early just to be nice.
And a big thank you to everyone who supports our work through Patreon, YouTube memberships, or Super Chats. For instance, and allow you to do things like this. Everyone, give me your favorite emotes. Gobble Brooms! And a 1. Especially all the people who skip everything, yes, and who want to go back and watch it.
Welcome back. My partner here let me know you sent him. Didn't I see you talking to another mammal child before you found me? I suppose we all look alike to you people from across the salt. But appearances aren't everything, of course. With our superior arcane ability, we of the Buniwa tribe are typically employed as mages or paraseers. As for the Hubigo, they are more likely to excel in feats of athleticism. The Dopro, meanwhile, are renowned for their skill at beast handling. You can see one tending to a weird right over there. Ah, speaking of which, perhaps I should tell you about— No, don't interrupt him! No, let him tell me lore! Damn it! Ah! Lore cucked again!
Aye, that's enough. Sorry about him. My friend here can never remember when to hold his tongue. Thanks again for your help. We've wasted enough time here. Onwards to our patrol.
You're back. My trainee got here just ahead of you. Now what's this I hear about you two having a heart-to-heart at the harbor? He wants to cross the sea in his own craft, eh? Good of him, I say. A boy his age ought to dream big. The technology the second promise brought home to Turialal has sparked new ideas among the youth like nothing I've ever seen. Mark my words, they'll do great things for the country one day. Me, I've got my claws for keeping these dirigibles up and running, but the next generation has my support. Nothing would make me prouder than to watch them soar to ever greater heights. Ah, great. Now you got me waxing all sentimental. Something in the fumes, perhaps. Take your reward and run along before I embarrass myself, would you?
I've installed lore cucked into Elio's head and it's stuck here. My work is complete. If we had a guild for every time Lorio Bookerant. If we had a guild for every time Elio has been lore blocked this stream, we'd have 2 guild, which isn't much, but it's weird that it happened twice. Okay, I just want to check real quick if in Okanu I can pick up any blue quests. Right, okay, there are 2. I'm gonna pick up those 2 then. You know what, actually I'll save them, because we might need the blue quests, some blue quests to do for Urkopacha. And we'll do Urkopacha and maybe come back into Okuzu Maoka. Oh, well, actually, after we beat Urkopacha, we'll have the time to do... Yeah, let's do the... We're at 6:15, we still got technically 45 minutes till I plan to be done, so... V... Are you at all hungry for delicious food? If you know what I mean. Oh, Kylie Elio. Of course I know your name. Who isn't familiar with Wuglamat's companions? Not to mention your friends can't seem to go a moment without mentioning you. Ha! I'm Lanuhanu, and I am the honor of being the wind's chosen. It's my feathers which adorn the festival's float.
I feel the wind has guided you to me for a reason. As visitor to our village, who has fast become an honored friend, I would offer you a chance to strengthen our bond. Perhaps you're familiar with the Landsguard? It's customary among the winds chosen to save their molted feathers and present them to these brave protectors as gift every few years. At this very moment, one of the numbers is making their way to Okanu to receive our offering. But there's much more to it than just a simple delivery. I think you'd be interested in taking part. It would deepen your understanding of our ways, and perhaps you and this member of the Landsguard will become fast friends. I would start with a small task for you if you are willing. Nahanshe is the name of our guest, and he was due to arrive some time ago. I fear he may be lost. Could you search the road for him? I'll stay behind in case he arrives after all.
I'm unclear why you went out of your way to make the euphemism when it wasn't to start with. Make what a euphemism?
So you're looking for me, eh? You're not Hanu, unless you're molten something awful.
Nope.
Ah, so that's the way of it. Well, now that you've found me, I suppose I better get on with it. Sorry for my lack of enthusiasm. I joined the Landsguards hoping I could bust some skulls, slaughter some beasts. You know, use these muscles of mine. But for my first assignment, I'm lugging crates of supplies around. That's not exactly what I had in mind. Nah, I suppose complaining won't get this done any faster. Let's go meet this Lanu-Hanu then.
Oh, I just mean because I just meant if she wanted to get fast food with me because I love fast food, but we try to avoid going out a whole bunch because I have a profound, deep, and abiding love for fast food that is maybe too strong. I'm not gonna lie, a not insignificant sum probably of the super chats I've gotten has probably gone towards fast food budget.
You found him. Now we can begin. Before the gift of feathers is to be bestowed, there are proper steps that must be taken. Firstly, I bid the warmest of welcomes to Nahanshi. As the wind's chosen, it is my solemn duty to show you what sights our humble village has to offer. As one of the Landsguard, it behooves you to become familiar with all the corners of the continent, yes? Then come with me to the center of Okanu, where you can behold the entire village at once. What a load of... Probably won't be doing quests as much going forward, but we'll see. If we have extra time at the end of each, we can wind down with it. Take it all in. This is Okanu. As you can see, our homes are made from wood and reeds, both of which the forest blesses us with in abundance. But the nature's blessings are to be treated with care, for dry reeds can easily catch flame. If they do, we risk setting our entire village alight. Building waterways through Okanu is a way to protect us from such incidents, but aquatic beasts can travel them as well, and when the beasts become too great in number, we beseech the Landsguard to cull them. Do you now? I always thought hunting duty was just a way to keep us sharp. While I'm here, I'll make sure nothing troubles your home. All of Okanu would thank you. And now for the reason you came, the feathers of the winds chosen. They are used to adorn the equipment worn by the Landsguard. I love this piece of lore. The design evokes the image of Kishiai, a great bird revered by all Hanu-Hanu. The feathers give it a touch of authenticity that make the soldiers appear all the fiercer. Every soldier's outfit is designed in accordance to their profession, and each feather must undergo an elaborate process of dyeing and oiling to meet the Landsguard variant needs. So without further ado, let us begin. I first ask that you could come to meet me at the gate to the southeast. Fine, I should warn you, I'm not known for my delicate hands. That went about as well as expected. Would you stay behind for a moment, Elio? I would like to hear your opinion of Nahanshi. To be frank, he doesn't really want to be here. I have the same impression. Truth be told, his attitude is the same as every Landsguard troop who comes to receive this gift, and we're meant to fix it. Consider this a rite of passage of sorts. The Landsguard sent us troops whose rough edges want for polish, and the task we set before them serves as a whetstone. Over the course of our work, they gain a great insight into the history, that the meaning behind this exchange of gifts. Soldiers with a tangible bond to their charge will protect us, protect it all at the moment more staunchly. In recent days, however, even our treasure trove of knowledge has been enough to rouse the spirits of some. But working alongside someone as capable as you, Nahanshe may find the extra motivation he needs. Now then, let us proceed to the southeastern gate, and while this goes without saying, keep this little conversation between us secret. Ooh. Oh, the court servant's here. See, I'd only done the first part, so I didn't know what happened in the second part. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if we have time, I might assume that we'll do blue quests for each map that pop up, and then things maybe like the corn servant. What did I do to deserve this? Now I know my superiors were snickering behind my back as I departed. Hanu might think this bird god is worth all this trouble, but I just want to get it over with. Ba 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 ba. The lore discussion will also get a lot longer, more in depth. That's a good point. Subsequent zones touching more on subjects that reach further across the game related to things from the Dawn Trail. That's a really good point. You're Wukramat's companion, aren't you? Kishiahi smiles upon me. I had hoped the great bird would guide one of the village's saviors to me. You see, the time has come for us to make our customary offerings to Kishiahi, the ceremony we hold dear, and I would invite you to participate as an honored guest. You will join us then? Oh, that makes me so happy. My feathers are standing up straight. The traditional offering is a fruit that grows to the southwest. They must be so ripe that they have fallen to the earth. Gather 3 and deliver them to Lanuhali at the shrine. I love that they say they've grown so ripe that they've fallen, so that way you don't have to like have a botanist or anything. So for you guys who are still around currently, what are you guys thinking? You think that is it watching a replay of Dawn Trail affecting? No, are you noticing anything? Have any thoughts? Appreciating anything more? I wouldn't say anything's revelatory, but I would say there's a sort of refined understanding of certain points, or at least learning them rather than just for themselves. Now, the way in which they interact with the later conflict and conversation of the story and characters. Man, it's so nice that this is here now. It's so much quicker to get to the other side of Kozumauka. Uyupoga. Due to the way I went through the MSQ and the other stuff I was doing at this time, it's all kind of a blur for me. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. I've been, like, for me, the, definitely at that time. Yeah, I was having extremely long and verbose conversation with someone about basically every detail we came across. Yeah, for me, I was, like, my brain was still recovering a lot. I was still in the midst of being, like, sick, so, like, a lot of Dawn Trails. I don't want to say a blur, but I don't have as detailed or remembrance for it as I do for some of the prior expansions. But now with the more and more I have to remember anyways, it's kind of all becomes a blur. Like, I'm ready to replay the game yet again. Kozunauki. A reed-woven statue of the Hanu deity Kishiahi is enclosed here in the Palace of Worship. The shrine is believed to stand on sacred ground, a holy dry land, blessed by the sun's rays and the otherwise swampy terrain. A lot of discussion of technical stuff, yeah. Oh, hello. To what do I owe this honor? Ah, Kishiahi You will be most satisfied with these. Today, you are more than an honored guest. You have the very heart of the ceremony. After your efforts to bring Ihihana back to us, Kishiahi is doubtless overjoyed to see you in this role. The fruit shall bear a powerful blessing indeed. Now, you must take this previous offering back whence you came. Deliver the blessed fruit to Anuhanu, and the ceremony will be complete. Go with haste.
Do you have to do that in order to unlock the Pelu Pelu quest? Because it's a blue quest, but like... Or was that... Oh, I missed it. Actually, was that probably one of the Aether... It was probably just one of the Aether... Well, MSQ recap, maybe the Dawn Trail final patch is the final leading up to 8.6, so it'll probably be quite a while. Yeah, definitely. I honestly really would love to do a recap of each expansion and the patch cycles, like just for me even. Like I know there are already other synopses out there, but just like for me to.
Welcome back. Was Lanuhanu impressed with your offering?
Now the question is, should I go as deep as I do, where it's basically barely a synopsis? Or do I go really overview?
Yes, I can feel Kishiahi grace emanating from these. Thus the ceremony is complete.
I feel like I have to go not super overview because otherwise it's kind of pointless because I remember the overview. It's more like a little bit of depth is what like would be helpful. MSQ recap and do it like Lewis from Ant-Man. So like sorry, it's been a while since I've seen those movies, but I definitely know what you're talking about.
The younger Hanu clamored to participate in this rite. You know, it's said that the fruit offered to Kishiahi became imbued with its divine spirit, and all who carry them shall be blessed with great luck. Surely you'll be too. Although you traveled far, I hope you will feel enriched by the experience. Go with our gratitude, and may the wings of Kishiahi sweep ill fortune from your path.
Okay, last thing we're gonna do before I log off for today. V or Ray, if you want to do the final outro stuff one more time. We need to pick some place. We need to pick a tea tree for Tuliolal for when we want to meet here. The places I'm thinking of to start with are like probably up here. Does anyone have any points that they specifically think would be good? Like over here by this tree, that guy in the corner. So there's that place. I think it's reasonably by an aetherite. Oh, that's also a nice tree. Very end of the cabins. On this back one. Suggestion on this back one we're doing the MSQ. Well, I want it to be Tuliolal. Bulk shoes, nah. Yeah, I like the spot you just marked by the Resplendent Quarter. Because I like that it's out of the way. It's got this little pond. It'd be fun to like sit here. This is literally where I suggested it'll be back when we're doing it. Right. Sorry, just didn't catch it then. It's quiet over there. Yeah. Okay, so there's this. Somewhere with the ocean view. Yeah, let's just look. Let's just see if there even are any trees over there. There are trees, but okay, so the argument is that's why I said Tuliolal is an instance, so it might be annoying. Is it? So like you can't, well no, wait. When you say instance, do you mean there's multiple instances that people can go in? I mean, that's true right now of all the maps though, isn't it? Pond is nice. Yeah, I do like the pond. Yeah, the only other place that makes sense to me, meet up for stream or whatever, might not be in the same instance. Well, at least you can teleport to different instances. I mean, like, to be fair, we can still look, if we need to, we can still go to Lenosia, right? We can still use that tea tree. I just want to create, like, an unofficial one for, like, Tuliolal if we do want to meet up. And eventually they won't be instanced. Yeah, so, okay. So the question is, okay, so here's the argument. Is it, do we want to be on the ocean? with here, with this one, or do we want to be up here? I'm gonna throw it to a poll real quick. Oop. Yes, the yes or no poll. Ocean tree. City tree. I'll let you guys pick. The nice thing about this is that there is the you can actually reduce potential lag by selecting. Yeah, that's the thing. The thing I like about this is all the sitting spots are really cute. So I'm thinking, I'm kind of a fan of the ocean tree, honestly. And it's right by the bar, and yeah, and then people could go swimming, and yeah, I think we're gonna go with this because I like all the seating. Or is the right picking up? That's fine, Lil, but I'm saying I kind of like this. Is there something that goes on there? Is like there's something that changes there? Because if you are just like say, is it like later after certain events that things change on the beach or change up there? Yeah, that's not really a concern as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I guess it is a concern you're talking about if we're loading in and out repeatedly. It doesn't matter. For now, we're gonna say it'll be one of these two regions. We'll worry about the specifics of it later. Seems people are much more on the ocean tree. We can also test it out, and if it turns out that people loading in have a bigger issue, we can then go from there. Okay. I'm gonna head out for now. I got dinner. Don't forget, we've got in about 90 minutes. We need to eat taco emote. We do need to eat taco emote. In 90 minutes, we've got we've got 90 minutes. We've got the Alliance raid. You can join us over in the Discord. And yeah, this has been a weird last hour. I'm definitely looking forward to normally when we're like actually end on the MSQ. I'm not used to vamping like this. Okay, yeah, Light, thank you. Lil, thank you. V, thank you. Dez, pretty sure that's a Balamung exclusive emote. God damn it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. There should be stream tomorrow. As I said, like I took off Monday this week. There'll be intermittent days being taken off. One to further finish working on the current move-in house, which is mostly done, but there's still some projects and stuff that need to get done. And then also because I'm actually working on content now, so I definitely need there are days where I just need to be able to full tune focus and work on that. But yeah. I hope you all, thanks for all joining in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you sometime during the rest of this week or in the future. Whenever we get to each other. Bye, everybody. Kupo.